What's up, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Thank you for joining us tonight. So, we're about to get this show started. Just waiting for Miss Jen Garcia to come on, and we're going to plug her in so we can. We can go ahead and get the show started. So, also look, check it out. So, the link is I'm posting the link right now if you all wish to come in to discuss. And if you wish to come in to discuss, I'm going to posting it a couple of times. And if you wish to come in to discuss, give me, just give me a thumbs up, and I will bring you directly in. And so we can, it's open forum. Don't be shy. Last night was pretty good, so we're gonna. Last night was pretty good, so I think tonight's show is gonna be.
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
You got your theme music now?
Okay, so. All right.
You got your
I feel
theme
like I got my snacks. I got my snacks because I'm ready, and I had to come into some, Ice Cube and Lil Jon because I feel like I'm going into the ring today. I got so much heat today from my post.
I saw that.
I got a lot of heat, and it was just. Is anybody in the room? Is anybody in the room yet?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody, they wait for you. It was like, what Jen at?
Yay! Okay, I'm here, y'all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, let's jump right into it. Earlier today, I'm sorry, I posted. Sorry about that. Okay, so last night after we do this thing, right? Something was on my mind, so I went onto Instagram and I threw up 3 little videos of just something that was my opinion, and I said I had experienced personally, and it's something that I hear a lot of women complain about. So just a little video of my opinion, and I caught a lot of heat from men, which surprised me because in the video, I didn't attack men. I was just like, hey guys, I think it would behoove you to X, Y, and Z. So tonight's topic is why do men, which is the topic of my little videos from last night. Today's topic is why do men allow exes, female friends, and followers to interfere in their new relationships, right? And I don't know if I said it verbatim, but is that what you wrote?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, and people probably, let me break it down, because people probably like, what do you mean? What do you mean, right? So what I mean is, when you guys get into a new relationship, right? When men in general get into a new relationship, there are a lot of females that were around him prior to that relationship. So here they are, these guys in a new relationship, they post their new woman, right? And then what happens in our current environment, because everybody's a click away, females, whether they're exes, whether they're followers, whether they're female friends, always come to investigate who that woman is, or plant a seed, or be petty, right? So my thing is, it seems to me like men, and you can tell me your experience, but it seems to me like men don't like confrontation in general with women, right? Because we have big mouths, right? But what they do is, instead of protecting their new relationship, they either side with the women that have already been in their lives, right? Or they make light of it to their new woman. So my advice last night that everybody got up in arms about was, men, you know, you want a good woman, you want an attractive woman, and then you get her and you don't protect her. And I think that men make light of something that's very, very serious, because women, whether it's envy, whether it's jealousy, whether it's curiosity, they plant seeds. And a lot of guys don't want, they're like, I don't, you know, this is not a big deal, but it's a big deal to your woman, right? So the backlash I got was, I don't know what men you be dealing with. I don't do that, right? Or, well, women do it too, right? We always got to flip the gender. It was like, I just gave a little advice to the guys because it's something I had experienced in my past, right? And usually the retort is, well, I don't know what men you've been dealing with. I've been dealing with human beings like everybody else, some good, some bad, right? Some of our relationships have been amazing, and some of our relationships have been bad, and some of our relationships have been so-so. So when someone says to me, I don't know what guys you've been dealing with, they're gonna have to be married, happy with the first woman that ever gave them a heart on, right?
What's that again?
When I say something about men, something I've experienced with men, and women do this too. Women do this too. Whether a man or a woman has a gripe, a past gripe of an experience, what women and men do is, I don't know what women you've been messing with because I'm not like that. Or the men say, I don't know what men you've been dealing with because I'm not like that, right? But the truth is, if you're a human being, you've been in good relationships, you've been in bad relationships, some good, some bad.
Right.
But what people try to do, because, you know, everybody on social media is perfect. No one's ever been through anything. They have no idea what you're talking about. So that's usually the go-to. I don't know who you've been messing with. If you're on planet Earth, we've all dealt with good people and motherfuckers, right?
Okay.
We all have. We all have a story where it's like, oh my God, I can't believe I dated that person or married that person. And then we have the stories like, oh my God, that was a great relationship. We're still friends, right? So the topic for tonight is, why aren't men more protective of their new relationships? Because I notice a pattern that happens is, you let the women around you who feel they have seniority, right? Because females do this. I've been your friend for 20, 30 years. So whoever that new girl is ain't important, as I am, right? And men don't realize that women, via envy and jealousy, plant seeds, or they try to throw a little dirt on her name, or, you know, they do it in the nicest ways, right?
Like Eve from the Garden of Eden.
I'm not listening to that story, men. So, you know, women can be some very jealous, envious bitches when they're single and they don't have a man of their own, or they're married and they're in a miserable relationship. So when they see their male friend has a new woman, they got to throw some shit in the game. And my question is, why do men allow that? That is the topic for the night. Why do men allow that? And if a woman wants to be so bold tonight and come in and say, why do you play that game? Why do you see a man post a new woman and you got to slide, either text him or slide in his inbox and be like, who's that? That's your girl? I don't like her, or whatever. Why do you women do that? Is it because you're single and miserable? Is it because you're just playing? Like, hopefully we'll have a woman tonight that will come in and say why, and also men can join us and say, you know, maybe they didn't think it was a big deal. Because in my experience, men don't think that's a big deal.
Let me ask you, can I ask you a question? I have two questions for you.
Yes.
First,
everybody understands the topic now.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. You're very clear. So my first question to you is, have you ever done it?
Have I ever like slid into my friend? No.
Never.
No.
Okay. My second question is, all right. My second question is to you is, why is it such a big deal for the man? Because we want to hear from your perspective, right?
Absolutely.
So why is it such a big deal for the man to just check the woman and just say, man, you know, instead of just ignoring her? You know what I'm saying? So why does he have to like? What is it? How do you all want the man to respond?
Okay, so this is on an individual basis. Please, por Dios, for God's sake, I know not all. Okay, I'm thinking of buying a T-shirt that says "not all," so it'll be here before anybody says it. I know not all. Okay, so we put that on the side. I know not all. Right. For me personally, I think that it can be damaging to a new relationship. So I'm not expecting men, you know, to buy a full page ad in the newspaper and say I'm with him. I'm not expecting him to go on CNN and say it, but I think that men should be protective of their new relationships. That's what I think. So I don't think they should make light of it, because remember, things that go bad are usually a slow drip. Right. Mm-hmm. And I think that men know how women are, I think, for the most part. But then when I have this conversation with men, be it friends or relatives, they're like, I didn't see that. I didn't see that. But a woman knows a woman. A man knows a man. That's like if you're hanging out with your man and some guy comes up and he introduces you to this guy, right? And you're like, oh, he seems nice. And then your man says like, nah, that motherfucker's a snake. And the woman is like, how you know that? Like, how you? And then the man's going to tell you, because men know men. So I think that men have to have confidence, and women know women. Like, she's playing a little bit too much, and I don't like that. So my thing is, a man doesn't have to like, yo, my girl said don't play with her like that. A man doesn't have to go through those extremes to protect his environment. But I also think that the problem here is when they're too loose with their environment. Not that they have to be rigid, like don't nobody come from my woman, because that's tacky as well. Right. I think they're too loose. They let other women be too loose. And what women do, right, with the privacy, just like men, with the privacy of being able to slide in an inbox and ask about your woman, they do that now. Our current environment. I'm always talking about our current environment. Social media plays a big part in everything now, in business, in looks, in relationships. It does, right? Mm-hmm. So, I caught a lot of heat from it, but it exists. It exists. And one man replied to me, and I'm going to read the comments in a minute, but one man replied to me, well, if you want to solve all of that, the best thing to do is not post your relationship at all, ever. And then that way, nobody comes for it. Nobody comes for your relationship if they don't know, A, you're in one, and B, who you're in a relationship with. Mm-hmm. So my question is that the best way to go about it? Or can you post your relationship and just be more protective of it? Because we know the games that these chicks play, right? Hating hoes ain't happy, and happy hoes ain't hating, right? I said, happy hoes ain't hating, and hating hoes ain't happy. So if I'm sitting somewhere, right, I'm the type of person, I can be single or I can be miserable. But if I see my friend is in a good relationship or they happy, that's going to inspire me. That's going to tell me there's hope. Jen, just because you're going through some shit doesn't mean that there's hope. But other women who are miserable and single, they'll see their male friend in a relationship and they'll have an issue with it, right? Because happy hoes ain't hating, and hating hoes ain't happy. So again, if a woman wants to come on and admit that she's done that and why, I'd love to hear. And also, men, have you experienced where you just got in a new relationship or a new marriage, then all of a sudden you've become attractive to women who weren't giving you the time of day, which is another thing. These are women that don't check up on these men, don't check up on their children, don't check up on their lives. But as soon as that guy posts a girl and don't let her be attractive, all of a sudden that guy is interesting to that girl on his friends list. All of a sudden she wants to know about his life. So why does that happen? And should men just ignore it and make light of it? I think it's dangerous to ignore it and make light of it. That is my opinion.
Okay, cool. Let's there are some questions for you. But after those questions, I have 2 questions.
I wasn't reading them. I'm sorry.
No, I have 2 questions for you.
Yeah.
You want to, because James Quake was like, he has a question. He said a quick question. Go ahead, James. Ask your question.
Okay.
My question to you is this.
Oh, Ayana made a good point. Go ahead.
What's her point? You want to?
Yeah, Ayana made a great point. I'm an experiencer of that, but also men let their fake homeboys plant seeds of doubt and negativity too. That is true. That's very true.
Okay. James had a question for you.
Okay. Malcolm is watching in the wings. He's like, I ain't getting on it. In trouble.
That's funny.
Okay, so you just want me to go down the comments and questions?
Yeah, if you want to, yeah.
Okay, Gerard McClendon says, men are about ego and their self-worth is tied into quantity, not quality. Men like living on the edge. Women have to nip that in the bud. Too easy to prey on weak women. I guess it's too easy to prey on weak women. That's a good point too. Lisa says men want to protect their image at all costs. That's a good point as well.
That's an extremely great point.
That's a great point as well, because I think sometimes men want to look a certain way to everybody, and you can't do that when you're in a relationship, right? That's a great point. Nick F. Silva Screen says, because we overthink relationships too much. We need hobbies like reading books about anything. Hobbies are good because if somebody has a hobby, they're not so concerned about what other people are doing romantically.
Absolutely.
James said, quick question.
Karen Ward, come on in here, Karen.
James said, quick question. James Quake. He says, this scenario happened with an ex and a coworker. My coworker wanted to date afterwards, but only after women thought she was my woman. I don't mix business and pleasure.
How did she look?
My coworker wanted to date afterwards, but only after women thought she was my woman. Ain't that about a bitch? But you see that's what happens. That is what happens.
Let me read this. Okay, with an ex. Okay, this happened with an ex and a coworker. My coworker wanted to date afterwards. After his ex, right?
That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. My coworker wanted to date afterwards, but only after women thought she was my woman.
Okay. You might have to break this down for me.
This is what I think he's saying, right? There was a woman at his job that other women thought he was dating. So then the woman at his job was like, oh, now I'm interested in you. But only after other women thought she was dating him.
So what was, okay, I know this is enough, but what was it that made people think that the other woman was dating?
I don't know. Maybe they were like hanging out or whatever. And then all of a sudden, you know what I mean? He was getting that attention. And then she was like, oh, okay, so let me jump in there and date. Is that what he meant?
Yeah. Yes, it was something there.
After my ex came for her, bogus. He said she was beautiful.
Okay, cool. So my question to you is, all right, are you finished or you have more? Okay.
One more.
Okay, cool.
Jen, I also think the new woman has to help him protect the relationship by not entertaining or listening to any ex-followers, fan, etc. Absolutely. Yeah, it goes both ways. It definitely goes both ways. But because I am a woman and my vast experience is dating men, I'm speaking from my lens. You know, I can only speak on how I feel on the opposite end of a man's behavior. Men can speak about how they feel on the opposite end of our behavior. So I'm speaking on my end, what I see and what I hear women complain about.
Right. So my question to you is this. So if that happens to a guy, right, you're dating, do you expect him to tell you that somebody says something like an ex says something or a female follower or friend came and said something? Do you expect for him to tell you that or just want him to just move on? What do you prefer?
Best case scenario, I would want him to tell me, but if he's the type that nips things in the bud and he don't play no games, you don't got to tell me shit.
Okay. Yeah.
The reason why, and in that way I'm controlling. The reason why I like to know everything that's going on, all the components, is so I can be aware for future reference. That's why I like to know, like, who said what, who thinks they cute now, who thinks all of a sudden you're cute now, right?
Right.
I like to know all the different, you know what I mean, components. So like that in the future, you know what I mean? I got my armor on in case shit goes down. But if he's the type, and I don't think the man exists, but if he's the type to nip shit in the bud, like I said yesterday on my video, do not play with me in my new relationship. I don't care that I've known you for 30 years. I don't care that we used to go to church together. I don't care that I know you from junior high school. Do not play with me and mine, okay? Do not play with me and my future. If he's that type, and I don't think that man exists, but if he's that type, then he don't have to tell me a damn thing. But I like to know.
I'm sorry, y'all. If I'm keep moving back, if I'm trying to adjust my lights because I'm by the window and the sun is like, you know.
Fine.
Okay.
You got a lot of wall and ceiling. You could tilt your thing like that. Thank you kindly, sir. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let me ask you this: do you have any more questions?
Okay. Richard says, back in the day, I would always go for the friend first to get me to the one I really wanted.
What?
He says he would always go for the friend. I think that's another topic.
Yeah.
That's another topic. Jenicia Harris says, why do men claim their exes were so toxic but constantly bring them up? Are they warning you of behaviors they don't like, or are they reminiscing?
Reminiscing. Always. Like if a man even with a woman, if they keep bringing their ex up, it's something about that ex. They haven't gotten over that ex. No one wants to be like when you start something fresh and new. You know, unless it's something that's strictly like very, very, very important. No one wants to continue to hear about somebody's ex. You know what I'm saying? It's because the only reason someone keeps bringing that person up is the fact that they haven't gotten over that person. Move on. You got to move on. So my question to you is, I don't see the. What's up, Coach Kelly? Right, do not bring like even like right. So okay, here's the thing. I know this is a different topic, but it's to address something that Jenicia said, right? If you are on a date the first time and the person is talking about their ex and that's all they're talking about, move on. Don't even go on a second date.
Of course.
Don't even give a person a second date. Like,
of course.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. So if a guy, I mean, if that happens to a guy, meaning that, you know, he an ex, a friend, whatever, a follower is in his inbox, right? And he tells you, and he doesn't check that woman, right? And you say, okay, what did you say? What did you do? He said, well, I just let it pass. I laughed it off. You know, she don't mean no harm. You know what I'm saying? How is that damaging to the relationship?
Because if the woman feels like you should have said something to her or checked her, right? Mm-hmm. It's damaging to the relationship because she's gonna feel like the man didn't protect her or protect his territory. So if you're not going to do shit about it, definitely don't bring it up to your woman. And if you're a hardcore dude that is going to do something about it, then that's the only time I think you shouldn't tell her. Me, I'm extra. So I'm like, I want to know what these bitches are saying, what they're trying to do. I'm extra.
Why is that important to you?
Because like I said, I need to know for future ref, like don't take my armor from me. I need to know
who to look out for.
I don't know. Maybe it's the fucking director in me, or the writer in me, or the Puerto Rican in me, or my daddy in me. I'm like, I need to know everything that's going on because I am so used to being the head of shit that it's hard for me to trust that someone else will make all the right decisions. It's hard for me to trust that. So tell me what the fuck is going on. That way I can delegate or advise accordingly. But let's say, worst case scenario, the guy, blah, 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 the chick sees you with your new woman, right? Or who's that? Or whatever. Slides into your inbox, blah, blah, right?
Right.
What happened too is the man doesn't check it. He's making light of it. He doesn't care. He's like, I'm with my new woman. I don't care what my ex and my female followers are saying. That shit ain't important to me. Who cares? Most men will handle it that way. They'll either LOL right in the inbox. So you crazy girl, whatever. And then go to their girlfriend's house and it'll be, you know, business as usual. Bitches like that, give them rope. They want to be a cowboy, especially if they envy that new woman in your world, especially if they envy her. She went unchecked the first time. So now she's going to continue because happy hoes ain't hating, right? And hoes that are hating ain't happy. So it's like they're going to continue because one, they don't have a hobby, like somebody mentioned. They're not reading books. They don't have a man of their own, or they have a man that they're not happy with. So they go online. That's why I always mention the current environment of things. They go online and scroll and scroll and scroll. Oh, I know him from high school. He got a girl now. Let me ask him. That's what bitches do. That is what they do on social media. So if it goes unchecked, I'm saying it could create a dangerous environment because if something jumps off in the future, the first thing the bitch is going to say is what? Well, your man didn't say nothing to me about it. If your man ain't saying that, that's where they go. That's where.
I'm sorry. What do you mean if something jump off in the future? Like between the two people?
No, like if there's, let's say, yeah, between the two women.
Right.
Right? Let's say something jumps off between the two women. Let's say it's on a post. Let's talk about the current environment and things. Let's say it's on Facebook. Let's say the man posts something and the chick, because she's always been unchecked, says like kiki something something, and it's a little too far. And then your girl catches it. And then she's like, no, I don't think so. We good. Right? Let's say your girl types back. No, because we have to deal with the current environment. People act like social media is not important. It is, right? So let's say your girl's like, nah, we good over here, but thank you, right? And then the girl, she's gone unchecked. So she's like, well, he ain't never told me nothing. And so now it's like, he ain't never told you nothing. So y'all be having conversations about this shit. And then your girl's going to bring it to you. You know what I'm saying? And then that's going to turn into a whole thing. Because men are just not used to nipping shit in the bud. They make light of it. They think that as long as they're with that woman, that nothing else should matter. But there's shit you got to look out for. There's this shit you got to look out for. And social media is the mecca of envy and jealousy. It is the mecca because people believe what they see. You can have the most miserable relationship, but if you post a happy couple picture, like that shit seeps into the. I was listening to the minister today. You know what I mean? And he was talking about envy and jealousy and how that shit makes you sick.
Uh-huh.
Like you see something, you don't know the work that goes into it. You automatically go envy. You know what I mean? You're not thinking this person's working 24 hours on that thing. This person is studying that thing, whether it's a relationship or a job, whether you're an actor or a leader of a nation, like that shit takes a lot of work. But what motherfuckers who don't like work do is they put eyes on it and then envy begins. And that's a dangerous environment. That's why I say you should nip it in the bud if you're a man. And the reason why I'm focusing on men, right? I love men. I'm not a man basher.
Well, I think keep explaining. We're not taking it personal.
Okay, good. Because men took it personal on my Instagram. They took it very personal. And I am not attacking men at all. Even when my advice sounds harsh, it's like, I want us to do better. And men, in my opinion, don't like confrontation with women. So they're like, I don't want to hear it. She was only playing. That's my friend from high school. I used to go, that's my mother's friend. It wasn't even like that. But if it's enough for your woman to have been made uncomfortable, then it is like that. Don't say it ain't even like that.
Not all the time.
We always play like that, huh?
But not all the time.
Not all the time what?
So sometimes a woman can say something, right? And sometimes the girlfriend can look at it, right, and read it as a totally different way because maybe just maybe she's dealing with her own issues of insecurities.
See, but that's the go-to. That's the go. You must be insecure. Maybe you're dealing. No. Listen. Uh-huh. We know when someone's doing too much. Why do we act stupid about it? We know when somebody's doing too much. We know when men are saying too much to you, and we know when women are saying too much to you. Like, let's not play stupid here. Let's not play stupid for the sake of an argument that doesn't exist. We know when a bitch is doing too much, right? You know when a man is saying too much. You know what I'm saying? If I have a guy on my Facebook and every time I post something, he's like, yo, let me take you out though. Let me take you out. Seriously. I'm gonna be in your city. Let me take you out. Can I go to my man and say, I know him from high school. He's only playing. Can I tell my man, are you insecure? Because I know him from high school. And if I wanted to be with him, I would have been with him. Are you insecure? We know when people are doing too much. It is dangerous to make light of something that bothers your significant other.
You have some comments.
Okay. What I got?
What's up, Janine Lopez? Let me give a shout out to Janine Lopez. I didn't believe. What's up with you, my sister? Hey, Janine, you want to come in? Come on in.
Hey, Angela. Ayana says, I'm just going to go through them. Okay. Ayana says, I feel Jen. My ex did tell me about a woman he dealt with in his business. When she friend requested me to try to get close to me for his business, I stopped it there by telling her to deal with him and his team. Very smart. I did that earlier today.
Break that down for me. Okay, what did she say now?
My ex did tell me about a woman he dealt with in his business. When she friend requested me to try to get close to me for his business, I stopped it there by telling her to deal with him and his team. In other words, her ex-man knew somebody in business, and that woman tried to friend her to try to get in better with his business. And she told him, deal with him. If you're doing business with him, in other words, you don't have to.
I don't understand. How did she know that was the reason that she said that she tried to friend request her? That she was trying to get in business. She friend request her, according to what she just said, right?
Right.
The dude, the lady sent her friend request to get in business with the guy.
No, the lady was already in business with her man.
Already in business with her man.
And then she friend requested Ayana to get closer to her, so like that she could be closer in the business. It's kind of like, all right, let me friend his woman, right? So I could
with that, though?
Like in house.
What is wrong with that?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I don't see like if that. I mean, that's actually it's not a bad thing because maybe she said, okay, I'm working with your guy and I'm going to do a lot of business with your guy. I want you to feel comfortable for the fact that I'm doing business with your guy. So
yeah, but she also said she requested me to try to get close to me for his business.
How did she know? How did she know that?
She must have known. I don't know. Ayana, you want to clear that up? Martin,
come in this room and tell us why. How you know?
Ayana, come on, because she comments and she never comes on.
Yeah, I mean, how did she know that?
Okay, Ayana, Mark wants to know, how did you know that she was trying to get close to you for his business?
Right. That's like that's like making an assumption.
All right, Sarah, we're waiting for you, Sarah.
It's like, okay, I see she's trying. You know what I'm saying? It's like I see she sent me a friend request. So I think she sent me a friend request because that's an assumption. You don't know. That's not actual facts. Like, how do you know? Ayana, come on up in here. Tell us how you know. Janine, come on up here. Janine, she's from Belize and she works at. When I go to Belize, I always go to the restaurant. She's the manager at. Oh my God, the food is great.
Coach Kelly says if they took it personal, it's because they believe what was said to be true about them. Otherwise, why be upset? True?
She said what now?
No, Coach Kelly said if they took it personal, it's because they believe what was said to be true about them. Otherwise, why be upset? True?
Yeah, Coach Kelly, she's a coach. Come on in here, Coach Kelly. She's a writer too. She writes books.
Oh, okay.
She does coach. She does what you call it? Come on up in here. Okay. Oh, Ayana
said fans and followers can say anything to cast doubts. Absolutely.
That's true. That's true.
Absolutely.
So this is Ayana's ex, right?
That's what it sounds. Yeah, she said.
Right. Okay, so she just said, right? He told me. That's weird. to me. Like if I'm in business with a woman, and the woman sends my girl a friend request, and then I go back and say, okay, the only reason she's sending you that friend request because she wants to get closer to me in business. That's kind of weird. It's like he's trying to hide something, like trying to keep the two of them apart.
Well, I'm gonna put it this way, right?
Uh-huh.
If I have let's say I have a boyfriend and he's in, I don't know, he works at the post office, and he has a coworker that works at the post office, and she knows of me because he posts me on social media, and then she sends me a request. Why is she sending me a request?
Yeah, but it's kind of different. And here's the reason was kind of different because it's kind of different because this Coach Kelly coming. What's going on, Coach Kelly?
Hi.
Hey, beautiful.
So here's the reason I think that's kind of different because her guy seems like he was in business for himself. So he was in business for himself, which is kind of different.
Okay, well, she's gonna have to clarify because I don't want to assume.
Yeah. Just Ayana, come in here. Coach Kelly, what's up?
Hey, Mark, how you doing, Brother King?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Living my life in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh my God! I was there for a year. I love it. Love it.
Just doing me, just checking you out. I always got to come to your page and bother you. So I saw my beautiful sister right there. Yes, I thought I'd just chime in and see what y'all talking about. Y'all talking about relationships? I got to get in.
Yes, please.
So go ahead. Jen.
Okay, so Ayana says he told me.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Why would he tell her that? Why would he? Like, why would? Okay, that's my thing. Like,
no, it's simple. I can answer that.
Uh-huh.
Right? It's simple. That's like your woman, right? Gets a friend request from somebody you're working with, and you have intel on that woman. So you tell your woman, don't even bother with her. She thinks she's slick. She's trying to get closer to you to get in the business with me.
What you say?
I feel that because I've had women try to friend Patrick to get close to him, to friend him, to get information from me for free. So I kind of feel that. Yeah, it's done. They'll friend you. They'll friend your spouse, or they'll friend somebody that's close to you so they can be close to you and get the information.
That's different.
Or get the distance.
That's different.
How is that different?
Because okay, so here's the thing. The thing is, what Ayana is saying is the fact that the girl, right, who's in business with her guy, sends her a friend request, right? And she was like, the only reason she's sending her that friend request is the simple fact that she's trying to get closer in business with a guy that she's already in business with. So why would the young lady need a friend request when she's already in business with this guy?
That's a chess move.
I agree. If she can get close to the woman and friend her and create a relationship with her, that's brownie points. I'm cool with your wife.
Y'all hear this, right?
That's a chess move. What?
I'm talking to the guys. You see how they work now. You heard it straight from two women. This is how they work.
I know when I was like, I've had different jobs where I've had to speak to couples. I always direct my eye line to the woman or the girlfriend. I never talk to the man ever. And I was in sales. And if I'm talking to a couple, I talk to the woman because the moment my eye line goes to her husband, she no longer wants to hear anything that's coming out of my mouth. Not a damn thing. So I'm automatically,
especially as pretty as you are.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But I'm like, I'm trying to make a sale. So I'm like, right. I'm talking to this woman and I'm like, girl, let me tell you. Like, he's not even there. At this point, he's a giant wallet.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yep. Giant wallet. I'm not talking to him. Even when he says something, I'm not even looking at him. I'm over here like, yeah, sure. So what I was saying was, I am not talking to that man.
Yeah.
It's fun.
So you want to present that? You want to ask the question to the topic to Kelly, see what she has to say?
Sure. Okay, Kelly. So the beginning of the topic was when, or tell me if you've ever experienced when a woman is in a new relationship with a man, right? There are females in his environment that now find him interesting and attractive. So then via those things like social media, they start contacting him, inquiring about that woman. Why do women feel that way? And why do men allow it? Why do men make light of it? Like, it's not a big deal. I went to high school with her. She's going to inquire about my life.
And I've actually experienced that. I'm married, right? So my husband, he's gotten inboxes from women that has been in a circle, right? That were supposed to be gone. They're inboxing. And the thing with me is I've always told them, check them right now. Because if you make light of it, then you're giving them the green light to keep coming. What if a man inboxes me, hey, Coach Kelly, how you doing, girl? I ain't talked to you in a long time. And my husband sees the message. He's going to be like, get him up out your inbox, because what's his point? Why are you in my personal DM? Whatever you have to say to me, if it's not on some BS, put it on a public page. Why you got to be secrecy about it, you know? And I mean, I've dealt with that. Those women inboxing my husband about nothing, just trying to see where he's at. Check him. Get up out the inbox.
That's what I said. That's what I said on my video. And normally, in my experience and in my opinion, those women would not be checking for those men the way they do when they have a woman.
That's right.
They don't. But it's like, oh, there's a woman in the midst. Well, let me. And I hate that happens. Like, you could be with.
They want to test. Yeah, they want. And I've even had men do me the same way, Mark. When I first got married, men, you potentially know as well. We've all been out in the same circle. Men will literally come up and behind me, blow on my ear, make some comments, knowing I'm married, and I'll just turn around and be like, I wouldn't front them off, and I'll just say, we're gonna have some dialogue when this is over. You know, because I don't want to be all confrontational. And no sooner as I got them by myself, dude, don't do that shit. You know I'm married. Back up. I've had it, like people you know in the same circle know I'm married and will literally try to get at me. Huh?
Patrick around?
He just left. He had to go get an oil change.
No, not now. I'm saying, was he around where that was happening?
Yeah, he was there. But he was standing on the side. This dude is on the other side, blowing on my damn ear, touching me on my waistline. And I didn't want to just be like ignorant. So I just said, we're going to have some dialogue, you know. And once I got him by himself, I was like, that was disrespectful. You know I'm married. You need to check yourself. And then he was like, oh, I was just trying to see if you was really down for your guy. I see you a real queen. Really? Come on.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know him. You know him.
I know him?
Yeah, you know him.
You see?
Wow.
So men and women do it. They both do it. Yeah.
So, Coach Kelly, do you think that men just generally make light of it? Like, oh, don't worry about her. She's from high school. I don't care about her. Do you think men make light of it?
I think they make light of it because, one, they're not as emotionally in tune or connected as we are. Right. So what we may see, we may be able to read something else. Men will be like, she ain't on nothing. She just in my inbox, whatever. They do make light of it. They do. But we know as women, no, get her out your inbox because I can read through that. She's up to something else. But men, my husband do it all the time. He will look at the inboxes. Hey, how you doing? I'll be like, why is you even entertaining her ass? Get her out your inbox. Because they don't think about it like we do. They don't even go that damn far. We're like 7,000 words to their 700. They ain't going that far. You know, they just go.
I don't understand.
He's like,
so this brings me back to the point, another topic we had that women chase. But
yes,
Jida like that. Jida like that. Why you bring up old shit?
Let me tell you something. I will say this. Okay, let's say women chase. I say women chase extra when they see a man is taken.
Right. Yeah, we are extra.
Extra. Because let me tell you something. And I will admit, I've dated some guys that weren't the most attractive men on the planet. Okay, I will admit, right? They weren't the most attractive men on the planet. But honey, after it was known that I was with him, he became the rock. Okay, everybody wanted to get in his inbox, and like it changes. It changes the environment.
I think you are underestimating it. You are, huh?
Do tell.
We're not as naive as you are.
Y'all slick as heck. Y'all ain't never naive. Y'all slick in a different way. Y'all slick in a different way. And you know what I was gonna say? Sometimes they're not necessarily making light of their inbox. They just looking at it like, yeah, okay, I might get with you later. Sometimes they're doing that too. They have this too. You know that, Mark. Y'all do.
It's like, okay, just in case, I have too many drinks and I'm bored and nothing is on Netflix.
See?
So on Netflix. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this inbox for later on. Let me pin it.
And then they go back to them.
Y'all know this joke. These are jokes.
I think y'all are brilliant. I think y'all just a little bit. Y'all sneaky is a little different than ours. Y'all sneaky is a little different. Yeah.
Play dumb. For real, she said that.
Yes, the docile. Just really, girl. That don't even make sense. No, that's just you overthinking. You overthinking it. That's just you. No. You know what she's doing. I mean, I've had like my husband's women that he has been with in the past. They've tried to friend him on Facebook, or they'll try to friend me. Why are you friending me? I know you and my husband screwed years ago. Why are you trying to be my friend? And I'll ask him, I know y'all had sex. Why are you trying to be my friend?
yeah, take that. So what's name made a good point. Ayana, she said, she asked this question, right? Let me ask you. She says, do you think it's a test of the relationship?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Why you think that?
Matter of fact, there's even a rap verse that says, bitches out here trying to see if my relationship's strong. That's what they do. Right. That's what they do. And sometimes, and here's the thing that I tell men that they don't realize, that woman don't even want you. That woman doesn't even want your ass.
What let you this, Jen? You said the woman doesn't want him, but what does she want?
She wants to create conflict. Sometimes another woman who's envious or jealous, her issue is your woman. It's not even you. You're just on. You're the one. That's you.
Let me ask you this: out of this deal, right? Out of this deal, the fact that it's not the guy, but it's the woman, she wants to create conflict. But out of this deal, is the man getting sex from this woman who wants to create conflict? Is that possibility there?
That possibility is there.
That's all men care about.
What happened?
Yeah.
That's all bonus. Yeah. So we don't care.
Yeah. I didn't hear what you said.
Okay. So my question to you is: you said normally it's the woman that wants to create conflict, right? So I'm asking you, in that situation, is sex possible to get the man to get from that woman who's trying to create conflict?
Sex to do it?
You said it again.
Would she use sex to do it as well?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, whether she use sex to do it.
Yeah, of course. If she's physically around you, yeah, she'll do that. Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely, she's around you physically, of course she'll do it. But I'm talking specifically like social media.
Yeah.
It's easy to start shit and connect with people on social media.
Yeah, my point is, if the man gets sex after the deal, he doesn't care if she want. He doesn't care whether she want him or not.
No, he got his nut off. He cool.
Exactly.
He's cool.
Yeah, that is true. But I'm talking about men who don't want sex. Let's say men don't want sex from that woman. Let's say not even remotely interested. Right? It doesn't matter if you let her penetrate this relationship.
Let me just say this.
He loses anyway.
Let me just say this. If the man doesn't want to get sex from, if the man has no interest at all, right, to get sex from that woman, soon as he see that inbox from her, delete.
Not men don't delete, they think it's cute.
No.
Especially when he wasn't popular before. They think it's cute. It's like they're smitten.
Then okay, so if the man think it's cute, right? Then that man knows, okay, damn. He knows that there's a possibility of sex. If they're interested, if he has no interest at all in getting sex from this woman, he's not going to even entertain it. He's going to delete it. He's not even going to tell you about it because it's not important to you. Now, if it was,
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I think men, like everybody else, like being complimented, like feeling attractive, like feeling wanted. So he doesn't have to necessarily, ooh, sex for later. Let me boxes. Let me save this one because this is sex on reserve. I just think sometimes they don't think it's a big deal, but they like the attention. Everybody likes attention. So I think that they'll look at it, probably kiki a little bit and keep pushing. But it's a dangerous situation if his girl finds out. But I don't think what men you know are going to be like, delete. That'll work.
I agree with both of y'all. I agree with both of y'all because that is true. You know, humans just like attention. And especially if you're in a relationship and you've been in one for quite some time, when you get that outside attention, it is going to make you feel good. And you may even go back to read those messages just for that feel good because you know, in this monogamous relationship and you're not getting any attention but from this one person. However, on the other hand, you know, there are those guys out here who don't want that conflict. And so you will have women in those inboxes, and they will delete it. Because maybe they have a shared, you know, passwords. Maybe they have that open relationship with that partner and it's shared where they have access. So they know, like you said, if the woman sees it, it's going to be conflict. So he might just delete it because he ain't interested in her ass. Because he could know that she trying to cause some problems. I don't have time for this. I don't want no drama in my relationship. Ain't no cracks in here. And you ain't going to create no cracks. So I kind of agree with both of y'all.
Ooh, then where he at? Because I'm going to marry him. Where he at? And does he
I know my husband ain't even that damn man. He got a whole, I'll be like, you just going to leave this shit in here.
Oh, no, that's another subject.
Hey, Mark, you know I'm transparent.
Yeah, like that's another. I'm saying another subject meaning that.
That was the realest thing ever. My husband ain't even that man. Listen.
All the messages sitting in there.
Oh my God.
That's another thing too, is that, you know, like, you know, he lets you go through his inbox messages and all that.
Well, sometimes I'll go on his page and I'll promote my business. And then he'll be like, check my inboxes. And I'll be like, it ain't nothing but a bunch of bitches in there. Why you want me to check it? He does the same to me. Like, we share passwords. He keeps, like, if I leave my phone, we don't have, like, you know, that secrecy. We're wide open. You know, we're wide open. Yeah. But yeah, he got a list of, and so do I. You know what I do? I'll send him a picture of Patrick. So yeah, we go through that right now. You know, we go through it right now. Yep.
Okay, there's a lot of comments.
I see. You want to read some of those?
Oh my goodness, there's a lot. Okay, because they're insecure and feel they need to seek validation from other women. I don't know what Robin's talking about. Robin said next topic. Well, that's next topic. Robin Durham says next topic: single female develops or in the process of developing an intimate relationship with a married man, but he actually was the one that pursued her and then wanted her. I'm trying to see something again.
Let me get a shout out to your New York homie, Amy Joseph. What's going on with Amy?
He's from New York?
He's from Harlem.
Okay. Oh, calm down. How am I supposed to know where he's from? He's from Harlem.
Harlem.
I got kicked out.
Okay.
Sorry.
He started into the equation as a friend. Something.
7 o'clock.
Jennifer Allred said, men and women do this to gain false trust. If they start off introducing themselves into the equation as a friend, it will be more difficult later to prove something more than that is going on.
Say that again. I'm sorry. Read that again.
Basically, somebody will try to friend your significant other to gain your false trust. That way, later on, you're not going to suspect that they're messing around because it's like, no, this is my friend, like a friend of mine.
I see that. It's like, yeah, I see that.
Jennifer also said they're sizing you up. She says women are competitive. Men are sometimes oblivious of the message these women are sending. Not always, but sometimes.
Men ain't oblivious to nothing. They're not. Men are not. They smarter. They're not. And I got to give it to Mark. They just quiet. They ain't stupid. They far from it. They just don't respond the way that we do. They see them damn messages. They read through them. They've been around long enough. They've been with enough women to know how we think, how we respond, they know. They know when that woman wants them. They're not stupid. So no, they're not oblivious. They just not saying shit. They know what she wants, right, Mark? Mark, no?
Coach Kelly, you about to change my life here. I'm thinking about some things now.
We just, it's like this. We don't act out of desperation. Because if we act out of desperation, that's the possibility of we losing it. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't make it, especially if a woman is coming at you, can't make it appear so easy. We got to make it, make her feel like she's valued and all that, so forth and so on. So, and we can never act out of desperation. We always got to be cool about it and just let whatever happens. But we know, like, even if we have a woman, right? If we know another woman, we act stupid. Oh my shit. Yeah. Well, we know. I'm just keeping it real.
We said that.
This whole live tonight is about to change my life. I'm just like, man, I'm thinking about all the guys I should have stabbed that deserved it. Man, oh man, oh man. Man, oh man, oh man.
Oh God.
Oh my God. Robin Durham says, all men cheat, even married men.
I agree.
All men cheat.
I'm hanging up. I can't do this.
Mark is about to be somebody else.
You said what?
I'm married. I am married years. And if somebody were to ask me, do you think your husband ever cheated? I can only tell them I've never felt it. But I'm never going to say no. Because I ain't with him 365 days a year, 24 hours, 7 days a week, 24 hours. I'm not with him. So I can't 100% say he's never gave that thing to nobody. I can't say that. I can only tell you I've never felt it. That's it. So, I think
if you never felt it, honestly, if you never felt it, he never cheated.
Okay.
You can feel it.
Yeah, or maybe before we were married, I felt it. But once we got married, I can't say that I've, had that pit. But do I think all men have the potential to? I do believe I think all humans have the potential to cheat, women and men. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone has the potential.
Yeah, but do we, right?
I'm reading that. Malcolm Banks. Look, he's sidebar starting trouble. Malcolm Banks said, "I'm sure side chicks got good hearts." I'm done with him.
Oh my God.
Side chicks.
Destroy his new happiness without her. It has everything to do with her, nothing to do with him. Lovely Lavelle says the man wants something from the woman that he's entertaining in his inbox.
Of course. Yeah. He's not looking for no type of deep conversation. He just is
emotional connection. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Men are not like women. Women, women most times, they're looking for you're looking for some attention and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's not us. Now we would think twice before we cheat. If a man has a woman, and that woman is very, she's like a woman who, I'm going to say this, she's a woman who speaks to the God in him, the God ego. You know what I'm saying? If she, he's gonna think twice if he's very supportive. What he do, how he's taking care of his business, so forth and so on. And plus, she's a beautiful woman, and plus, she's great. He would think twice before he goes on it.
I just let men know. I know where all the main arteries are, and I can cut you. The EMS will not be able to help you. So, you take that and do what you want with it. That's what I usually do. Some arteries you can't close up. Some arteries you just can't close up. And I know where they are.
You read the question?
Rafael Abreu Canedo says, you can't control who's. I'm gonna wait for him to come back. He's gonna come back and ask me what I said. Marco,
I'm listening.
You better listen, because don't tell me say it again. Because this one's long. Okay. You can't control who's in your DMs. He said, you can't control who's in your DMs. Sure, it's nice when someone tries to holler, but emotionally mature men aren't swayed unless they are not happy in their current relationship. Then again, emotionally mature men don't stay in relationships they're not happy in. But it wouldn't be appropriate to tell your lady about every single person that tries to holler. But in a relationship, there's nothing I need to hide from my lady.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. Men are always in my face, and I'm sure women are always in Pat's face. I'm not going home and telling him about every man that tried to talk to me. You know how long that conversation would be? I'm just not. I'm not having that dialogue, But if there's trust, it really doesn't matter. And if you have two beautiful people, it's expected. It's expected to have somebody in your inbox. It's expected for somebody to be in your face the moment you walk outside. And if there's security, you just, hey, well, she's mine, he's mine. Thank you for the compliment. And you move on with it. You shouldn't stress about stuff like that. You just shouldn't. And only insecure people do that. Yeah.
I always say it's like, in relationships, and men are like, oh, but all these guys are saying X, Y, and Z. I was like, you have to understand, it's literally like traffic noise. Like when you're in traffic, cars, horns, stuff like that.
Yep.
That's what people constantly coming at you is like. It's like traffic, like being in traffic. You're not stopping for every little compliment. Of course, you're going to be, appreciative. Of course, you're going to say thank you. But you literally it goes one ear and out the other, unless the woman is not happy. Unless the woman, you know what I mean? It's like it literally is. It's traffic. It's so much of it that you're not.
I have a question for you all. That's if she's single, right?
Single or married.
Okay.
Married, yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's say this. So, if a married woman, even a man, right? Whenever they go out, and every time they go out, as you say, there's so much. It's like traffic, right? People keep trying to holler at them. Do you think that we carry a certain energy that ward people off or allow people in? Like, say for instance, right? If a man is out, he's wearing his wedding ring. A woman is out, she has her wedding ring on. So like if the man is totally in love with his wife, and the wife is totally in love with her husband, and we carry a certain type of energy that when a person look at them, they're like, okay, I know that she's off limits, or I know he's off limits. So that's like
I'll answer that from my experience.
Okay.
Absolutely. You have an energy when you're really, really in love with somebody and they're really, really in love with you. Like that energy transcends. The problem with that energy is it doesn't ward people off. It attracts them. Because the woman automatically says, they don't say, I want a man to treat me like that. They go, I want him to treat me like that. Because I'm seeing him treating his woman. I want that shit. Right? So,
can you repeat that?
You do have that beautiful energy. I've seen couples that are like, oh my God, I know they're in love. And it's a beautiful thing. Problem is, it doesn't make people, it's not a deterrent. It's attractive. It's not a deterrent. It's not like, oh, I don't have a chance with that man. It's the opposite. Women are like, I want him. Look how he's treating her. It's ass backwards logic, but that's what they do. That's why they say men with wedding rings are more attractive. It represents he's committed to something.
I was going to say from my experience, because I am a very friendly person. very friendly. I don't really care what you have in your pants. You know, if I hug guys, I hug girls, you know, because I'm just a friendly person. So there will be times me and Pat will go out, you know, especially like in the beginning stage, it's all lovey-dovey and all in each other's face and dancing and everything. There will be guys just approaching, hey, Kelly, how you doing? They want to have a hug. That's my energy. You know, I don't ward people off. I allow people to come in because I just love human beings. And then a lot of people knew me, and that used to stress Patrick's whole life out because he's watching the attraction of all these men in my face. And it wasn't anything done on purpose. It's just who I am. I'm a people person. So yeah, I get that. You do have a certain energy that will pull people right on in every time we go out. It's women and men. Oh my God, your wife's so fine. I love her energy. Oh my God. Really, like women and men do that. And Pat just sit off to the side like, damn, can I just have you one day to myself without everybody in your face? So we do carry that energy. We do, you know, but it's not to be offensive. It's not to be, you know, something that the man or woman should be insecure of. It's just who we are. And it should not be asked to change. It shouldn't be, because that's what attracted you. So you shouldn't ask that person to change their aura, their energy to satisfy your insecurity. You just have to learn how to just be with it, you know?
Okay, but do you think that you have to curb some of it when you're in a relationship?
Yeah, I think you have. Yeah, especially I think if it's like for me, having had a lot of guy friends, so I had to like, okay, yeah, you're doing too much. You ain't getting no hug this time, you know. Yeah, so I had to curb a little bit because you start to notice some of them just doing shit on purpose. Or I see a hug her and she married. No, you can't. So yeah, I curbed a little bit of the hugging. I curbed a little bit of that. Yeah,
that's fair enough. That's fair.
Yeah, yeah. But it didn't stop nothing. They still there.
Okay, let's see. Any questions? A lot of comments. I wish you guys would come on the panel. We could have like a dozen people on the panel.
And I'm going to chime out. I got to go get Pat here to take his car to the shop. So, Mark, thanks for giving me the link. And Sister Jen, like, you guys are amazing. If I see y'all on here again, I'm coming again. I love this dialogue. I'm always open for some, you know, conversational relationships and us building one another. I'm in it. So, thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much.
Both of y'all.
We do this every night. 6 o'clock,
Every night?
6:30. Like 6 o'clock and 6:30 is a different topic every day. I loved having you. Thank you so much.
Yes, I'll be back to see you guys tomorrow then. You'll be on tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll see y'all tomorrow then.
Okay. Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Coach Kelly got me thinking. Coach Kelly got me thinking. This is why I love these conversations, because I'm like, okay. I love you too, Robin. I wish y'all would come on. Y'all be killing me. What? Kevin said, sometimes women also look for money or someone to spend on them. Many different reasons, but it's good to be aware of why. I guess he is saying that they be sliding in your DMs looking for money, I guess. Yes, my DMs do be blowing up. I wish they would stop. I say it over and over again, but you know.
They're not gonna stop.
Yeah.
You know that.
I mean, I diss people really bad.
Do you think do you feel obligated, like, you know, when you get those type of messages, do you feel obligated to, you know, make your significant other aware of the fact that you get these messages, or no?
No, I don't feel obligated, but I'm very, very vocal. I'm sure you've seen my posts on Facebook. I literally tell men, stop fucking inboxing me. Y'all look corny. I don't care what it is that you have to say. Say it on my post. I'm very, very open and vocal about stop fucking with me. I don't care what you got to say. I don't care if you want to take me out. It doesn't matter what my relationship status is. I'm vocal and I do it often. So I would think that a man in a relationship with me would feel secure, because he's like, oh, she gonna chop him down. I ain't even gotta worry about it. She gonna chop him down because she says it publicly. So there's no sneak about it. I'm not in the inbox like, Stop inboxing me, Kiki. I am open about, do not inbox me. Do not make it look like it's business. I don't want to go out with anybody. My relationship status is none of your business. Like, I'm very adamant about that. But men usually aren't adamant about that. Men usually aren't adamant. I am. I'm like, stop inboxing me.
We should, this is my thing. As men, right? That's one thing we should never do.
What?
I mean, as far as make a post about women inboxing us, tell the women to stop inboxing us.
Why not?
Because that's not how we behave. We just delete
so how do you behave?
Ignore the stuff. Delete the messages. No, do not respond.
So okay, so that's your advice to men. You would say as soon as you read it, delete it.
Delete it. Like, listen, if you're married or you're in a relationship and you see these women inboxing you, delete it. That's all.
What if she's hella fine? What if she's everything you like in a woman? Delete it?
Right. When I'm saying if you have no interest in this woman, right, delete it. Now, if
don't delete it.
No. Listen to me. So if even if a man is single or if he's married, right, in a fine woman inboxes him, right, if he's committed to that woman, the woman he's with, he's committed to that woman. Doesn't matter how fine she is, he's still gonna. I suggest just delete it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Especially if he doesn't know her. If he doesn't know her, just delete it and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying?
If he knows her.
It depends on, like, if he knows her, that's a different story. You know, if he knows her, he'd be like, look, he check her and say, listen, but it depends on how she's coming. Now, if she comes and says, oh, I see you have a new woman, what's going on with that? It's none of your damn business. Bye. Mm-hmm. Simple as that. Just and keep it moving. Now, if she comes and say, hey, if she comes and it's on some business or something else, but even with that, you have to be careful. You know what I'm saying? Look, I get messages from some bad women. It's about, oh, can we go to lunch? And and as far as like it, who are who are interested in acting, never do I accept that shit. Never. You can't put yourself in those type of situations.
So you said if you don't know her, just delete it.
Let me give you all a warning. They never look like their profile picture. Filters are the end game.
You know what I was about to ask? I was about to say, okay, you see that inbox, you're just gonna delete it, but you don't click on her profile pic to see the rest of that. Okay, right.
Yeah.
Y'all think y'all slick.
But you got to go to the pictures. Okay, I'm gonna give you all a tip. Go to the pictures. Don't go to like none of the profile pictures. Go to the ones that she upload from a cell phone. That's
she's tagged in, that her friend put up.
Yeah, right. That her friend put up. Yeah, Sarah. I'm like, no, I'm good on that.
Men are avoidant and don't want conflict. Yep, I said that in the beginning.
LaToya said, man, what man? What are you talking about, Toy? Who are these men you speak of? Look.
Sarah said, this is true. Sarah said Kevin was scarred by females wanting his money. This man always talks about that. Kevin is like, they want your money. We could be talking about selling lemonade. Yeah, but she wanted your money.
I love Kevin. Kevin is funny. Kevin is Prophet, right? On Instagram.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that. Ayana says she's coming on the next live. Come on, Ayana. You seen us on here every day. You should have been on here.
Kevin said, oh, my God. Kevin is crazy. If we get hit up by what's called transgenders?
He said transgenders. What are we talking about right now?
Yeah, I delete messages all the time. I went, what?
Men are avoiding,
Deanna said, what topic y'all on now? Read the headline.
LaToya says, men like to chase, so they hear nothing you saying, Jen. Ugh.
We don't.
And I understand that, but I'm like, Dan, don't you have any pride? Like, once I say fuck off, like, and you still chasing me, that's a mental dysfunction at that point.
Because
I'm harsh. I am harsh. I'm not vague. I'm not like, no, I'm not interested, but thank you. I'm like, stop inboxing me. What is wrong with you? I'm not your mama. Like, I'm harsh. So I'm like, but then again, some men are attracted to that. You know what I mean? Some men are attracted to, ooh, she's spicy. No, I'm like, no, I really mean fuck off. Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm terrible. I'm terrible. Bernard Esfield says Steve Urkel was corny till he switched to Stefan. Stefan has swag now.
Yeah.
Kevin said he's had a lot of transgenders inbox me and the profile. Well, transgenders they popping right now, so you're gonna get more and more. You gonna get more.
Look.
Sarah said, "Okay, Mr. Director." Sarah said, "Oh, Mark, they trying to get on your casting couch."
Y'all.
Bernard, you could still come on the live. Bernard said, I would have loved to jump on live with this combo. You can come on. Do you want to come on, Bernard? Bernard, you can come on. He said, where's the link?
I'm going to post the link right now.
Robin, stop. We saw you already. Robin said, well, I'm ugly, so we could definitely go to Wendy's and get a 4 for $4 and talk acting business. You is not ugly. Robin being modest right now. Robin giving us the tee-hee. Rafael Abreu Canedo says, some dudes are desperate, so they don't give up. Plus, they have fragile egos, so their whole self-esteem is tied to a woman, which is why they can't take the rejection and keep pushing like a creep. Like, that is true. Like a creepy, needy, and overbearing creep. Yes, there's a guy right now who I blocked, like, on all my pages, and he did another page, and it's like he's really, like, mentally ill. And I posted about him before, and he'll talk to him. He's been talking to himself for years, like he's talking to me, but he's in his inboxing me conversations that I'm not having with him. And he'll say things like, okay, I tried to stay away from you since you're not talking to me, but I couldn't stay away. I never reply. Then he comes back again. Come on, Jen, let me in. You're not like, it's very like, he's mentally ill. I'm like, no one chases somebody for that many years and they're not mentally ill. But
some in real life?
Huh?
Have you ever met him in real life?
No, I haven't met a lot of people that do this in my inbox in real life. Like, you know. Bernard said, yes, give me a second. He's looking for his lip gloss.
Yeah, I just posted the link.
Sarah, I thought you was coming in. You're doing a lot of typing over there.
Sarah.
So your advice to men, because we're not going to be on here all night.
Yeah, we're going to stay on for another 7 minutes. 7:30.
Okay. So your advice to men is delete. Unless she's fine, then you go to her profile and see if she's really fine.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
You sure? You said you should go check it out.
If you're in a committed relationship or you're married, just delete. Don't even put yourself in a situation. Now, if you're a single man, if she's coming at you, that's a different story. Because you never know what might come out of that relationship. But my suggestion is just delete.
Okay. But if you're single, go make sure that the gallery matches her profile pic.
If you're single, make sure that because those filters are something else. We only got Jamie.
Sarah coming in.
Sarah, we only got 6 more minutes.
Angela says, I had a director tell me one time on set, wow, you look just like your profile pic. Laughing out loud. I said, who was I supposed to look like? I don't do filters. Amen, amen. Can I give an atheist amen? Amen. Yeah, the filters are scary. I always say let them go live, but then you can do filters on lives now.
What's up, Bernard?
Yo, how's it going, y'all?
What's up?
Hey.
So what you got? Have you been listening to the whole show?
I've been listening. I came in toward the, not gonna say the telltale end, but I came in with enough knowledge to know what's happening. Yeah.
All right. So let's hear it, Bernard.
So I don't know if you guys covered this or not, or talked about it, but for some people, I don't know if they've ever heard of the 5 love languages.
I have.
When it comes to finding someone or relationship wise, stuff like that. I guess my thing is kind of hearing you saying like how you cut men up and stuff like that, or even women. I believe women may slide in your DMs too and be like, "Hey, sweetheart," whatever. Yeah. But do you think that it may be a little too harsh for some men who may feel like, you know what, all I want, I'm an innocent guy, I'm a good, upstanding guy, I may be one of the rare ones. Can I at least get an opportunity and chance? Could you possibly be missing out on somebody?
Okay, well, I'll answer this. I have had men approach me via inbox that were like perfect gentlemen, right? Like, I don't know if you're in a relationship or not. I just think you're pretty. Where are you from? Blah, blah. Can we talk? Now, if you come at me like that, I have no problem saying thank you so much for the compliment, but I'm not interested.
Let me ask you this. Something for Bernard said, right?
Mm-hmm. So
when he said, I'm one of the rare guys, is that like a red flag for you?
No, because here's what it depends on.
What does it
depends on where I am in life, not whether he's the nicest guy or not. It depends on where I am. So I tell people all the time, right now, I'm not looking for any type to entertain any kind of relation. He could be amazing. Let me tell you, there's been some amazing men slide in my inbox. I'm talking about, everything that I feel like, oh my God, he sounds like a really good man. You know what I mean? But it depends where I'm in life. And I'm like, I haven't been interested. But don't get me wrong. I don't just chop everybody's head off, right?
Okay. Right.
It depends how you come at me. Right? Because I'm never too far gone to be grateful about compliments and attention. So I try to take the time out to say thank you, whatever. I'm not interested, but I'm flattered. You know what I mean? That you want an X, Y, and Z. So, but when I'm talking about the guys that I chop their heads off, are the guys that are persistent, the guys that are rude. You know what I mean? The guys that make assumptions. Those guys, I chop their heads off. And there's an abundance of those men. Very rarely has a man inboxed me and been polite. You know what I mean? Had good grammar, knew the difference between there, your, and your. Very, very rarely. But no, if you come at me correct, I will definitely come at you correct. But you have to accept and be prepared for rejection.
Right.
Mad.
Now, to be fair, for you to say that men have to be prepared and ready for rejection, I think that is also fair for women to be prepared for persistence and not to get that confused with a person that's being a creep.
Okay, define persistence, because once I say I'm not interested, but thank you, it should end there, no?
Not necessarily.
Oh.
Not necessarily.
That's
this is where I believe that the boys are separated from the men, because real men know how to be able to read a woman when she may say, like, you know what, I'm not interested. Okay, that's cool. I think that a real man, I ain't gonna say a real man, because that may be degrading to some men out there who may feel like, oh, for real, like you trying to talk bad about me. But I believe there's a level of maturity that comes when a man is like, okay, he knows just how much to fall back. Instead of just saying, you know what, I'm completely going to shut the door and walk away. Because how many stories have we heard of good women who had long-lasting relationships and marriages with men, and their backstory is that, oh, your father, I didn't want him at first. I told him no 3-4 different times, but he turned to be the best thing that ever happened to my life. And because of that, we have a beautiful family, beautiful story, and et cetera, and et cetera. But just imagine had she was like, no, and the guy was like, all right, well, cool. I'm gonna move on to the next thing. A lot of us wouldn't even be here.
I don't know if I agree with that.
You don't think so?
No. Here's the reason why.
Okay, interesting.
This is just my thinking, right? Men should pursue women who at that very moment, who has a high energy of attraction to the man. Like if the woman, right, if you have to persuade and pursue and convince this woman to date you, leave her alone. There are so many other women out here that who you can naturally, who could be attracted to you at the very moment. That very moment that you all see each other, there's this attraction, or even like you meet no matter where it could be at a restaurant, it could be at a grocery store. It's that high energy that she gives off. Because women know from the moment they see you, I want him. I want to give him something. From the moment they see, most women do. Those are women you want to attract. Like if you have to chase women,
what Raphael said.
I agree with Raphael 100%.
But
This
you know what though? But
Let me, Bernard. I'm gonna read this and then
please go ahead.
Back to your point. Rafael Abreu Canedo says you can't ask for a chance. You have to build attraction. Nobody deserves anything. It's up to us to build attraction. And if you're not able to, for whatever reason, then let it be. There's someone else out there for you. What do you think about that?
I think there's always going to be somebody out there for you, but I think it's like the moment that a person says, you know what, I'm going to stop the chase. I'm done with the hunt. I'm no longer going to go after all these different options. That talks about the value, that adds value to whomever it is that you're saying yes to in that moment. So,
Can you repeat that, please?
The moment that you tell a person that, you know what, the buck stops here and that I want to have a relationship and do the rest of my life with you, though I have all these options, that's when you add value to that individual as far as how much love you have for them. Because you're putting your primal instincts off to the side and you're saying, I'm going to check this. Even though I know I can continue to go out there and keep hunting, I'm going to sacrifice all this for you. That should be number one to let you know that, oh, this person is serious. Because he can or she can have anybody in this world, but they chose me. They chose to say, I want to be with you.
Yeah. So if let's just say this. If a man has all of these options, all these different women, all these options, right? He's not going to pursue that woman just like that's not how he's going to pursue that woman. Meaning that he's not even really going to even have to pursue. Women may disagree with me, but if a man there's nothing more attractive to a woman than a man who has a lot of options. Is that correct, Jen?
No, that's actually a turn off for me.
Then the man who has, when I say a lot of options, I'm not saying a lot of women, but a man who has a lot of women who are interested in that man. Women.
I think that's a man's mentality about women. That's a turn off for me.
Jen, you don't want nobody that other women don't want.
I do though. That's an assumption that you're making. You know why? Because that's going to be a continuous drama and something I don't want to deal with. So that's why I say I prefer to date somebody that's not in show business, because that's a worry I don't want to have. And I've been in a situation where you deal with someone who's very, very popular, and and it doesn't matter that he was committed to me. In my life, I didn't want to deal with it. It's not attractive to me. It's actually a turnoff. I'd rather a guy who's more conservative, has his own life going on, away from the lights and the bling and all of that. That's my preference. So no, if I know you're a man and women are constantly going to want you, it's a turn off for me. I don't know about other women, but I think
Jen is an exception. We're not referring to Jen.
Men want a woman that a lot of men want, right?
Jen, listen. Jen,
no?
Yeah, we do.
I don't.
Jen is an exception. Okay, Jen.
I heard the other women that could back me up right now. Hello, ladies.
Most women, right? Most people in general, right, want attractive people, right? So we want, we're gonna want someone. No, there's no man just doesn't want a woman that, that's not attractive. You know what I'm saying? And again, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But at the same time, it's like if a man has all of these options, trust me, a man has all of these options. 9 times out of 10, he's not chasing. He's not chasing. He doesn't have to chase because he has options. But what is he chasing for? I mean, why is he chasing?
It's because I feel like, you know, as a man, I speak for myself.
Uh-huh.
A lot of attraction comes from from the experiences that I may have with the individual. I may not even necessarily be looking for it. And I believe that really is where you can find true love, and true love is tested. Because for an example, you may have a true love for a particular toy. A child does this all the time. They can have a toy that has been with them since 6 months old. They can be 8 years old. You give them a brand new toy that has all the bells and whistles, they'll go back to that old toy because they realize I have an experience with this. I have stories, I have history with this. So attraction on a surface level with the bells and the whistles and the latest upgrade. Oh, this is woman version 3.0. Like a mature man will not rest on that. So in other words, it's like a woman who can dress up, a woman who could put on the latest clothes, who could put on the latest makeup. For a mature man to fall in love with that, that man is not really mature. To your point, Mark, when you were saying like these Instagram filters and stuff like that, that's what people are dealing with today. That's what people are really infatuated with, not really the woman and the experience. And I think that's what's missing.
Well, I'm kind of confused. You said what you mean when you say a mature man? When you talk about the when a woman dress up and put on heels, like can you
for example, like okay, for you, Jen, you're dressed up, you're beautiful, ready for the camera. You know, some men out there, such as myself, I'm like, you know what? That's just the surface. That's a dime a dozen. That's a given. But what about when she's not in front of the camera, when she's not dressed up? Like I'm curious as to what that looks like. You know what I'm saying? I'm attracted to that. I could care less about how banging she is, and she got the body and everything else like that, because experiences that I may have with that individual outweighs all the beautiful women in the world.
I feel what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so look, really quickly, Deanna, Ayana, and Latoya said they're not into that a lot of option shit. So it's not just me.
They're lying.
No, they're not. No, who signs up for a headache?
You're not going to hear the truth.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
So, okay.
No, sir.
Now, which woman said this?
Deanna, Ayana, and Latoya, and Jen.
So you mean to tell me that these women said that they're not interested in a man who has a lot of options?
Right.
So basically, what they're saying that they want men that no other women have interest in.
What's wrong with that?
So you all are telling me that you all want men that no other women have interest in. That's what you all saying.
That's what I'm saying. Yes. Like, why is this so foreign?
Okay. So if you all, okay. Jen, you were just saying about The Rock.
About what?
The Rock.
Right. What about him?
Then you said Jason Momoa. What's his name?
Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa.
Right. But
you mean to tell me you think that women they don't have options?
Let's be clear. You better get the whole story.
You're interested in who? Morris Chestnut, right?
Brother, get the whole story from me, okay? When I think about who's coming in, Simeon, here we go. When I come in, listen.
I got back up.
No, listen. Can you listen to this?
I'm listening.
When I talk about Jason Momoa and The Rock,
clean it up.
I would love to hit. I'm not committing to that mess. I would smash because they're very attractive, okay? They're built like gods. I wouldn't want that headache. I don't want that headache. Would I smash? Hell fucking yeah. Who don't want to say, yo, I smashed The Rock? Who don't want to
I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that.
Who don't want to? I would want to go back to my girls and be like, yo, and my girls are going to be like, so what it looked like? What it felt like? But I don't want that headache. I wouldn't commit to Jason Momoa and The Rock. I mean, these guys walk outside and vagina sticks to their face. I don't want that.
Jen,
I would not sign up for that headache. I'll smash, but I'm not signing up for that headache.
Jen,
No, sir.
Jen, you said I'm gonna take your words and use your words against you.
You can try.
You said, quote.
You better quote me.
This is no disrespect to the Rock's wife. Oh, I saw her. She's busted. I could have had a chance.
Right. Anybody can have a chance. That's what I said.
But wait, that's horrible. You guys just proved my point. Y'all said that she's busted, but it's the experience. Like Dwayne is in love with that.
Right, and I'm happy for him.
Jen said that.
No, I said that. I'm happy for him. My joke came from, I think it was Chris Rock when he said Jermaine Dupri was with Janet Jackson.
Right.
His first idea was, damn, she went with Jermaine Dupri. We all had a shot.
Why say that? Why say that? That is so disrespectful.
Because when you look at Janet Jackson, you would think that she's going to be with somebody very attractive.
Why? But why?
Because attractive people attract attractive people.
So okay, let's just take your statement.
And Janet Jackson
And there lies the problem.
Let's take your statement.
Janet. I'm sorry. Janet Jackson only that fine because of all that makeup.
Who? You said what?
Janet Jackson is only as fine as she is because of all that damn makeup.
What is that?
No, I can't accept that.
No. She's prettier.
Listen to what he said.
Say
it again.
Janet Jackson is prettier with all that makeup.
Yes.
That's what makes her. But I'm saying that's what makes her drop dead. But you take all that makeup off. I've seen Janet Jackson without her makeup. You ain't finna be like. You're not about to be like, ooh. You're gonna be like, oh, that's Janet.
That's all women. That's one.
But I'm saying let Janet Jackson be a regular chick in the street.
Yep.
You ain't gonna be like, oh, damn. You're not.
She's in a position to where she could have had any Hollywood heartthrob. She's still in the position of Janet Jackson. So my point is going back to Chris Rock's joke. Jermaine Dupri is like a little troll. Let's keep it real. So his joke was, damn, we all had a shot. So I put the joke on The Rock and his wife because she's very just regular. She's not attractive. So I was like, damn, we all had a shot. Like,
Chris Rock, hey, I'm sorry, but Chris Rock can't call nobody ugly.
He knows he's ugly. If you know you ugly, you can call other people ugly.
But I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to sit here and believe that you all say, you, Toya, Ayana, the rest of you all are saying that you all don't want a guy who has options. I don't believe that.
I've been
How? So every woman loves a guy that other women want.
Absolutely.
No, well, it depends on that type of woman.
Oh,
yes, that's factual. I agree.
All these women here said that. Women here said that. I experienced it firsthand.
Y'all not going to admit, because before you all admit that, right? Like, so you mean to tell me, like, come on. So Toya, Ayana, you all are dating men that you figured no other woman wants this guy. Now, who wants to be in a relationship?
But who the hell thinks like that? Do you know how twisted that thinking is?
Yes, I do.
Because all these women want him.
You all just said that.
But that sounds retarded. I want this guy. Forget his tax bracket. Forget if he cheats on me. I want him because other women want him. That sounds like a sick bitch.
That's not. No, wait. So what you all are saying this is what you all are saying. According to what you all just said, is that you all do not want a man who has options. Did you ever say that?
It's this, yes.
Okay, so let me say this.
I've done it over and over and over again. My long-term relationships, 11 years, 13 years, 3 years, have always been with men that weren't like, bling, here I am.
But
all over them.
But they had options.
Over and over and over again. So you can't tell me that's not what I want.
But they had options, right?
Anything with a penis has an option.
Listen, okay, Jen, back it up. We just had a discussion yesterday, right? You want to talk about what we talked about yesterday?
Listen, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, right? Any living, breathing thing has an option. You could be the ugliest, fattest, brokest, homeless. You have an option whether to sleep with that homeless woman or that homeless woman.
That is true. Because I think
you're talking about a man that has a lot of options, right? That is not attractive to women. That is a headache.
Listen, let me be clear. Let me be clear. Let me be clear. I think you all getting what I'm saying mixed up. When I say a man who has a lot of options, this is what a man who has a lot of options, but in that he's very disciplined, and I'm not saying that he's going out and he's sleeping with different
right.
But he's not
sleeping with them. You know what a lot of options is discipline. Do you know where this alien lives? Where does this alien live?
No. There's guys that have options that aren't going after all that. When he says options, he means that a man that other women find attractive. Just because other women find you attractive, that doesn't mean that you have to go out there and do something. You can be faithful and be with one woman.
Right,
he's
but
just saying.
Very rare. Very rare.
No, it's not. It's not. Okay, I ain't trying to sound conceited, but I think I got options, and I'm with one woman.
Jen, come on back in.
Her phone would blank out now.
Yeah, he disappeared on us.
What's up, Bernard?
Yo, what's going on, Simeon? But yeah, man, I get exactly what you're saying, Mark, because it's like the same thing when you flip it for like a woman. What we consider to be like, oh, you got a trophy piece, you got some arm candy.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So basically, I think what Jen and what other women are in denial of is that there's such thing as arm candy and trophy pieces for men as well.
Exactly. It makes them feel good. This is the best way I can put it. It makes a woman feel good that her.
Oh, we lost him.
Everybody's blinking out. Oh, you back?
Does that make sense?
Say it again.
Because they want. Simeon, you going? Women naturally are attracted to men with. Let me say this before. So women naturally are attracted to men with power. Men with power. Men with power. When men have power, they also have options.
Oh yeah. And that power could come in many forms. Like for example, for myself, I don't consider myself to be like an eye candy type of guy, but I'm smart. I got wit. I got humor. So that is to my advantage, and I attract a certain type of woman or women that are attracted to that. You know, so to them, it's like their eye candy is like, man, I got the smartest man in the room.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got the one who leads in the room. He may not be the best dressed. He may not be the eye turner, but put him in a conversation. He'll chop everybody up in here, and she goes home with me feeling like she on top of the world.
Not like even knowledge is a knowledge. When a man is very wise, he's knowledgeable. That's a sense of having power. It's just not like, it's just not in an athletic world. That's a sense of having power where you can outshine everybody that's in the room. You know what I'm saying? Like even if a man is let's say for instance at a chess tournament, right? And you have all these beautiful women who are interested in men who play chess, right? The man who outshines everybody that playing that game of chess by using his mind, those women more than likely, a lot of those women, not all of them, but a lot of those women are attracted to that man who outshines all the other men who are playing chess. So it's not just a physical thing; it's also a mental thing. Sarah?
Exactly.
So I missed a little bit of what you guys said because I was finishing up with my son earlier. I heard the tail end of what y'all was trying to ask Jen, and I was trying to see what was she trying to say?
She said that women do not like men who have a lot of options.
Right, I heard that part earlier, but it was something she was saying when the camera had just cut off, or she was saying the same thing basically.
I think she's booting back up, so that's all I remember.
Okay, so
what do you say about that?
To that point, what I will say is I see both sides. I do think that, hey, Jen girl.
My mic was dying.
I was addressing the point about the women and the liking options and stuff like that, right? So I was starting to say that I feel like I kind of see it from both sides. I do know even people personally who don't really give a shit when it comes to like, oh, this man has all these women looking at him and this is why I want him, blah, blah, blah. I get that. But I think I understand what Mark is saying as far as, you know, and this might be different for like you and Toy and people like that, even like me, like I don't give a shit, whatever. But I will say, I feel like majority of women do, even if it's subconscious, there's something is attractive to you to that man, right? And a lot of women tend to be, it does tend to happen where a man has a ton of different options. And it's kind of, you know, like, oh yeah, like I know my man is fine and I know he looks good and blah, blah, blah. And it kind of gives a lot of women like a little bit of a, what's the word I'm looking for? Not superiority, but kind of like, you know, I have him. This is my man. I know he's fine. All these women want him, but they can't have him, right, in their heads. And I feel like that happens more often than a guy who just, you know, women like, oh, I just love him because he doesn't have any options, blah, blah. And I know you said earlier, Jen, that you have dated men that you said weren't necessarily the best looking guys. I have two in my past, you know. But then I've dated the guys that
peaceful. It's very peaceful. It's very peaceful.
Right. Look, no issues. But I will even say just having dated both, like, and you two, like guys that are attractive, guys that are not, I don't think necessarily even, and this was kind of to Mark's point earlier too, that even guys, just because they have those options, not saying that you were saying this, but just because they have those options means that they're taking it somewhere. A lot of guys do just ignore, like what Coach Kelly was saying earlier with her husband. They'll have inboxes and messages, and they just don't pay attention to it as whatever, especially guys that are used to that. Just like how us as women, we might be used to a lot of guys sliding in our DMs and saying stuff to us. We get used to it over a while, so it's just like, oh, another guy's telling me, oh, baby, you're so fine. Oh, okay, whatever, next. Another person say, okay, whatever, next. I think guys can be the same way too. I think a lot of men that kind of take advantage of it and are so excited about it, and oh my God, all these women are just saying this, are men that never really had that before. Maybe they weren't that attractive in high school, early in their lives, whatever, and now they're getting a lot of attention that they never received before.
I think it's extremely, extremely, extremely difficult for a man to have tons of options and stay faithful. Extremely difficult, because a man's mentality is completely different. So it sounds good. Like the man was like, oh, you can have a lot of options and be completely faithful. I think those men are as rare as black diamonds. It is very difficult for a man who has constant vagina being thrown at him everywhere he goes to be faithful. And
they are rare, but they're out there. They exist.
They're rare, and then there's a difference. There's men that you think are fine, and then there's fine. So are we talking about your man looks like Boris Kojo, or he's kind of cute in the face? Because there's a difference. Are we talking about your man has a good job and he's a supervisor, or he's in $100 million tax bracket? Because women we treat our men like we bought children. Look how baby, he's so fine, and you're talking about a damn pro. When we fall in love, our man, he's everything. So I'm talking about The Rock. I'm talking about Jason Momoa. I'm talking about a man worth $100 million.
But you got people even that's on a lower totem pole that's sitting in their trap house with a mattress, ain't got no type of sheets for the mattress, that's got bitches coming through and through, and you be looking like, how the hell are you?
If he's fine.
No, Jen. No, let me tell you, I know from personal experience, many men who are not fine, who look like little sticker bug have women coming through and through their crib. I'm telling you that you do not have to be cute.
Not no women with consent though.
Huh? No, but you know what it is, Mark? A lot of those same men, they got that. It's that street stuff. They got that flashy lifestyle, or like he got that money. You know what I'm saying? From whatever they doing.
The gab.
Yes, but the options of women they have are equal. It's Coco from and you know what I mean, Suki from Apartment 10.
I was gonna say, and Keisha and them, they not
get on my nerves.
That's different than bangers. You know what I'm saying?
And they're not looking for.
No, I definitely get that. It's different layers. I just think that just as a species in general, I don't know. I guess it's.
Hey, can I ask y'all a question? The three ladies here, right? How
Wait,
many,
I want to.
I just
Hey,
want-
boo.
how many of you all are attracted to men with power?
Well, that's what I mean. That's the masculinity I like. So
Toya,
How
we
many
can't hear
of
you.
you all are attracted to men with power?
Wait, can y'all hear Toya?
Now y'all, all three of y'all frozen.
I'm frozen.
I'm joking. I'm asking you a question, but y'all acting frozen.
No. I was trying to
can you
hear
hear
Toya
me?
started
I
saying
am with you.
something. Toya,
Can
but
you
I
hear
can't
me?
hear Toya. Y'all can hear Toya.
Yeah, I can hear you, Toya.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I don't know why.
I answered you.
What you say?
I said yes.
Boy, what you say?
I said yeah.
Sarah?
I'm sorry. I can't hear
Okay,
nothing
so the
Toya's
question
saying. But
was-
yes, I know what you're. Yes,
Okay, so if you all are attracted to men with power, right? So men with power get more options when it comes to women.
So okay,
I agree.
Mark, if you can hear me, this is what I wanted to jump on and say because I totally agree with Jen's point. There is a distinction between being in a relationship with a very attractive man who's ambitious, who has all these wonderful things going about himself, and yes, just him being an attractive man, women will see him. That's natural. It is a completely different relationship when you are with a man who is how can I say it? When you're in a relationship where literally you can't go anywhere without women damn near about to stab you in the face to be in this man's face. So I am totally with Jen when she says it's not worth the headache.
So Toya,
Because it's not.
wait, Toya, hold on. So
I've experienced it.
Wait, I'm
basically
sorry.
what
Not to
you're telling me-
interrupt you. Can y'all just tell me real quick what she said? Basically, I can hear her.
You can't hear
So
Toya?
y'all
I
calling
can't hear
out
her
me.
at all. Let me try to go out and come back in because I can't hear her
Okay.
at all.
Yeah,
You can't
okay.
hear because that damn baby crying.
So you telling me, Toya, that a good man who's well kept, who can't help himself, that he's a good looking guy, has to be punished by not being in a relationship with you.
You misinterpreted. I never said so. I would never say anything about a good-looking guy being punished. If he's good-looking, he got options. That's the whole conversation. What I'm saying,
He just ain't got no option with you.
Exactly.
No,
He just ain't got no option with you.
Why you punishing that man, Toya?
Put your mask on. Put your mask on. What I'm saying is, no. What I'm saying is, and typically the type of this is what I'm saying. There really are two different men to me when we're talking about this conversation. Well, I am in total agreement with Jen because I've been in those relationships with those type of guys. Every man has options. You could look like motherfucking Gucci Man before prison, and he had motherfucking options. So men have options, and believe it, women have options too. But what I'm saying is
absolutely
right. But what I'm saying is that there are some men who have the level of options that they have can be overwhelming. It is to the point that women don't give a damn if they walking with you or not. They don't give a damn if you holding hands. That's the headache that I'm saying that I would not want to be a part of. And that's
Toya. Let me ask you a question. Toya, can I ask you a question? Toya, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Where's your man at right now?
He's right next to me.
And he listening to you talk all this shit?
I'm not talking shit.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
But let me clarify something.
Okay, go ahead.
He and I were listening to this conversation before I hopped on, and we were teasing about when we both met, and we met in a public setting. And he instantly caught my eye, and I was teasing him because when I seen him, right, and I was teasing him that when I saw him, he was talking to a group of women. So my assumption is that one of the women he was talking to was obviously somebody he was talking to. But
right.
I was wrong because I am who I am. But again, is he an attractive man? Yes. Is he a successful man? Absolutely. But we are still able to go out and move, and I don't necessarily feel overwhelmed by the interest of other women.
I totally understand.
But
I
again,
totally understand that. I totally
but
understand that.
Amir is a brother who's successful, right?
Yes.
Who's good looking, right?
Not necessarily.
Yes.
No. Wait. Hold on. Clear. Because to your point, Mark, money is more attractive to a woman than a man's look.
I'm getting up.
So let's say, go ahead.
How do we bring money into this conversation?
Huh?
I said, how do we even bring money into this conversation?
Yeah, but
money is part of it. It's part of it.
Okay, I'll let you have
Part of it.
But a man who has a man who clearly found his purpose in life, right?
Okay.
All the things that attracted you to him, right? And he's a masculine man, FYI, masculine man, right? Okay, so a man like that naturally, a man like that naturally, he may not have women falling over him when he walks through Walmart, but trust me, a man like that naturally is going to attract women.
Mark, that's not what I said. I started off this, and because I agree, men are absolutely. Do you have options?
Can I have
absolutely.
two
Yes.
extra hot sauce?
What I'm saying is, I've been in those relationships that Jen has described, and typically it is because they were professional athletes, where it was like you couldn't go anywhere because somebody was trying to replace you in the midst of wherever the hell you were at. And so for me, what I'm saying is that for the men that have options, there are two different types of men that you're describing.
I'm not even talking about professional athletes and all that. That's all. I'm talking about. Let's just say a man who's a man who. I'm just talking about a man who, especially in this day and time, a man who's masculine. You know what I'm saying? A man who knows what he wants. A man who knows.
I think that's the thing. Mark, foundational. We're in agreement.
Simi, I'm gonna put you on what's the name?
Mark, you have to take something into account.
Okay.
You're not taking something into account. You're saying a man who's masculine, who has power, who's attractive. He don't have to be an athlete. He don't have to. But when you tell me a man with a lot of options, I'm going to the cream of the crop, the top. I don't care how long you've been at FOI. You are not going to have women after you like someone who's a quarterback from the Patriots. Never.
But we speaking. I understand.
Let me finish. If I am on a date with a quarterback from the New England Patriots, he is going to have women walk in front of us, between us, to get his attention, and it's going to happen repeatedly. That's not going to happen with me in the top FOI. It's not going to happen. So when you're telling me a lot of options, I'm going to my experience of being with a man who had a lot of options, not just 5 MGTs that were single, okay? No. And I'm giving you that experience. That's different than what you're saying.
No, okay.
He doesn't have as many options as the guy who plays for the Patriots. You'll never have options.
But are we not speaking in? Are we just speaking now? If we're speaking to about just those men, athletes, and the cream of the crop, that's a different story. But we're speaking in general, right?
Oh, I know in general. You said about
that's what I was gonna say.
What is this talking about?
No, Mark, I was just gonna say I agree with Jim. When I hear anybody say a man with a lot of options, that sounds like a completely different man than just any man having options. Men have options. Women have options. That's like if you have a penis and a vagina, you got options.
My point was this. My point, I never said anything about athletes. I never said anything about. I never said anything. My point was, and I'm making my point clearly. And I never said that you are chasing after just athletes and people like that. I said women want men who have options. I never said women want athletes or women want entertainment or women want.
But you said a lot of options.
You said a lot of options.
You said a lot of options. So I don't consider a regular guy just because he's the supervisor at McDonald's and he got power. Having a lot of options. You said a lot of options.
And I would say personally, I just want a man to be successful and
Liam,
stop. Annoying.
So look, listen, you guys. So this is what I want to see what y'all think about this. So Rafael Abreu Canedo says, to say money is more important to women than looks is such a weak statement. To generalize like that comes off as coming from a place of lack. Sure, different people have different priorities, but that money statement is something guys who aren't successful with money but that money statement is something guys who aren't successful with women say to justify a victim mentality around women's rejection.
I like this dude.
You like this dude? That's what I'm
Rafael, you on the panel?
No, because see, look, to my statement, I think that was my statement that I made. I specifically had somebody in mind when I made that statement, and that person was Lil Wayne. So many people, so many women that I hear, drop dead gorgeous women. Oh, Lil Wayne is fine. Lil Wayne is this, that, and the third. And I'm like, what am I missing? Like, I'm not the best looking guy on the planet, but daggone, like that brother though, they in love with his money. And that's for a lot of women are in love with fame. And the same thing goes for men too. Men are in love with the idea of a good looking woman, the idea of the money, the idea of the fame. Like to Mark's point, the whole thing of like, I got arm candy, I got a trophy, I got something that everybody else wants.
Well, let me just say this. I have never.
That's why I said it's a man's mentality. Men want. How many
That's women too.
How many women don't marry because that's a man's mentality? You want to walk in a woman that every dude beat off to.
Women do the same thing. Women do the same thing.
I've never wanted to date a guy and be like, I want him because all the women want him.
That's not.
No, you don't say it.
You know, that's not what you're thinking.
That's what you're thinking. You don't say
it.
But it's there. It's there. You don't say it.
Not for me. Not for me.
You may not say it, but the way that guy makes you feel on the inside, when you know your man show up.
But Bernard, that's exactly what you said. You said how he makes me feel. So
exactly.
I'm not here thinking from I want a man that all the women want, because if that's the case, then I'm attracting that energy that technically all the women will be in his face. What I'm saying is that what attracts me to, you know, my boyfriend or whomever, well, I guess I shouldn't say whomever, my boyfriend, I put a period on it. What attracted me to him was, you know, our interaction. Like, again, I was turned off when I saw all the women initially, but I haven't had that experience since we've been dating. So, you know, that's what makes me have a relationship.
Yes, right.
But but when somebody says somebody has a lot of options, those type of men move differently. And those are the ones that I like to steer away from, because it brings on a whole nother level of headache and unnecessary stress.
And I will say this to you and to all the other women who think like that. I take my hats off to you, because that takes a level of maturity, because to bring that type of worry in a relationship will make a man miserable, will make the relationship a horrible nightmare to be in. Because for me, if I was a man with options and I was with a woman who was constantly looking at me as if like I'm cheating on her and I know that I'm being faithful to her, that would be a miserable relationship.
That's insecurity though. That's going into insecurity, because you can still, your woman could know that it's a lot of women that are attracted to you and stuff. But if she's like constantly on you and nagging you and stuff, and you're not doing anything, or you're not really giving her a real reason to, that goes into a whole different thing of insecurity.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It's not, well, I know I'm not insecure. And I know that I dated an athlete. And when I went into his environment, and I saw how women were treating him, whether he was there with a woman or not, and he was a perfect gentleman, and he would like try to like get them off of him. It was just something that I was like, I don't want to sign up for this, and I'm very secure with what I look like.
That's not what you saying. Something different than what I was saying, Jen.
Okay, I just mean like it's a headache. Like now, it's another thing. Let's say if you get with a guy before his life does that, right? I think you've set a foundation, but I'm saying just in meeting somebody, you're like, oh my God, that guy's too, you know, he's tall, he's attractive, he plays for such and such team. Hey, I thought I was built for it. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, okay, this is like him and I was like on the same level. He's this and I'm that, right? And then when we got together and I went into his environment, which I hadn't been in before, I was like, I'm not built for this. I'm not the girl that sit back and do like that. These women are, I'm talking about flashing. I'm talking about, can you sign my ass? I'm talking about, let me get this picture and pressing that titties up against it. It was just something that I knew I was not built for. I was like, I am built for this.
I respect that.
That's a whole different lifestyle too. That's on like on a big magnet. That's on a different scale. Like
that's
the average
a whole
person,
different lifestyle.
Yeah, the average person, the average guy, even if they're having a lot of options, it's a different thing. That's like a 1% of the population.
You're talking about groupies. You're talking about groupies. You're talking about women that don't have a lot of morals and don't have a lot going for themselves.
Groupie
so they're going to do anything they can to put themselves in a position to win and get ahead. So that means putting their body out there and being disrespecting themselves.
Yeah, like sign my titties and
they're going to disrespect you because they don't respect themselves.
Right.
So that's a whole nother.
Right.
That's a whole nother.
But can I ask this question real quick to the ladies in here? Let's say, for example, hypothetically speaking, and specifically to you, Jen, let's say that you wind up getting with a gentleman who is everything that you want, low key, everything is great. You get married. Let's just say that, or you not even get married, and all of a sudden he makes a life-changing switch to where he gets thrown in the limelight, and all this, women is getting thrown at him. Are you the type that's going to bow out, or are you going to stick with him and kind of reevaluate your boundaries and try to work towards making it work out?
No, I'm definitely. That's why I said if I was with him prior to, right?
Jay gonna stick around. She gonna stick around.
I'm gonna stick around, but conversations have to be had. Okay, babe, this is a whole different environment you and I are both going into. How are we going to handle this? Like conversations have to be had.
Right.
Handle this going into that because it's gonna get wild and bitches are crazy.
He's gonna say, put your blinders on. I like whatever you see, you didn't see it.
Ain't no man talking to me like that.
Terrible. She said, boy.
Yeah, let that register for a minute. Like what?
Jen said,
Ain't no man talking to me.
Hey, let me just say this. Let me say this, Mark, Jen. Let me say this. I appreciate the fact that you guys are doing this because honestly, during this time, a lot of people don't know what to do with themselves and things like that. They're not really caring about. But like something like this gives us a reason to like put something nice on, or make sure our makeup is good, or make sure our hair's on. It's cool because it gives us a sense of normalcy. So I just want to say I appreciate y'all, Jen, Sarah. I appreciate y'all coming on here looking nice.
Oh, thanks, Simeon.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, look. Hey, Sarah got her hair all curled up today. Sarah got her hair all curled up today.
So I also been doing some videos too. So when I got the makeup and everything, I also been doing some videos trying to get some content and everything going too.
But you gotta do stuff like that, man.
Yeah, you gotta definitely. And piggybacking off of that, I also think that these conversations are so great too because one, and I think this would be for two things actually, because Jen, I wanted to see if you saw my topic that I wrote earlier. But one, I think that would be an interesting topic. I don't know how long it could be, but just talking about the fact that these divorce rates, or just from what's being reported, from what I've seen, it's like breakups and divorce rates and stuff are going higher now during this quarantine. Yeah. And I even just saw earlier what Malcolm, I don't know if he's still in here, but what Malcolm shared the link on child abuse that's been happening more frequently now in the home because there's a different, and it's just, I think that's so crazy because when all of this stuff came out, not trying to make this a topic, but I'm just, I just think that's so crazy.
It's all over the world.
And that's why I think these conversations are important too, because stuff like that, for not maybe the abuse thing, but we talk a lot about relationships and stuff like that. And that's what we focus on in a lot of these lives. And I think even just talking about that and people coming in, you never know what anybody's going through. Could be people up in here right now that's like, I'm about to kill this man, I'm about to kill this girl because X, Y, and Z. Now we're quarantined together. So I also think that this is pretty dope just because it might help people gain some perspective, especially from different opinions.
Agreed.
Exactly. It's needed, man. It's needed. We don't always have to see twerking. We don't have to always
Should I say something, Toya?
Say something?
Yeah, you good. It's like an echo, but you good. I think
I want to go back to something Bernard said. I ain't forget. I want to go back to. I think especially in this current environment. And I'm not saying that you wouldn't, but I'm saying that I think back in the day, it was like really cute. Back in the day, everything we evolved, right? I think back in the day, a woman's no meant maybe, like, I don't know, and then the guy would keep coming around, and she would finally give in, like, all right, because we hear our parents say it. Even me, back when I was 17, 18 years old, I kept telling this guy no, and we ended up in a relationship for 13 years, right? But things have evolved greatly, right? So now it's like, I think when someone says no, because women are more powerful now, and women know what they want more now than they used to. So I think just for safety for everybody, when a woman says no, don't write me again, stay out my inbox, I'm not interested, I think men should just take that. And that's it. And if you miss out on the love of your life, then you miss out. There's 7 billion people on the planet. But I think
I want to say something to that when you're done, Jen.
Yeah, like take that no and go into the other inbox. Because you don't even know that person anyway. Like you don't know that person anyway. But I'm like, I for one, like when I say no or I'm not interested, I prefer you just like have a nice day. Great. Like if you're gonna take a chance with a woman, make sure that rejection is a possibility to you, right?
And also I wanted to say that too earlier because when Bernard was making his point about there's been cases where women have had great relationships because the guys have, kept pursuing them and stuff like that. And then eventually they gave in and it was the best relationship they've ever had in their life. I was agreeing with that at first. And then Mark made a point. I'm like, okay, that actually takes a little bit further, which I really agree with, which is that while that has happened before, very rare percentage, because I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mark, your point earlier was more so that if the woman gives in even or whatever, like there was some type of attraction there initially. She had to have been interested in something about this man, even if she played hard to get at first or whatever.
Absolutely.
It wasn't just, I think it is a lot more rare that somebody legit, like you really had no attraction to this person. You were not interested at all. Somebody said in the comments earlier, Steve Urkel. Okay. Not Stevan, whatever his name was, but actually Steve Urkel, and you might not be, and maybe some people are like that. You're not interested. It's very rare that you will break down and kind of just be like, okay, I'll date you. Because even for me, like with my relationship, I think I stood him up like twice, or I think it was twice. I know for sure we were supposed to go to the Taste one time. And I don't even remember why. I just was like, oh no, something, we didn't end up going and I stood him up. And so then but it was like the way that he did it, like even how he came at me, he was just like, hey, like, you want to go, like, what's your number? Like, you want to go to the Taste? Like, we can hang out. He tried to put it off like we was going to hang out with our friend who also worked with us because we worked at the same job. That's how we met. And he tried to put it off like, oh yeah, we can go see our friend Mike. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can kick it a little bit away. It was just how he did it. It wasn't like, I want to date you, but like, because not trying to be conceited, but when I first started at that gym, all the niggas in there was, oh, this the new girl. Let's get her fresh meat. And I'm just, he was the only person I was like, oh, okay, you're kind of sexy. You a trainer. You want to train me? Maybe, whatever. So anyways, but even that, like I didn't make it so easy. And I did like stand him up, I think twice. And then, he was just like texting me and like, he wasn't being thirsty about it. And I was like, okay, you know what? Like, let me try to, let me see what's to him. It's already this little flare there. It's already this little attraction that I kind of have. And so then that's when I broke down and we hung out. And then after that, I basically moved in. But
because the key thing you said, he was not being thirsty.
He was not being thirsty. He was being persistent, but it wasn't like, because like I said, I've had to be overly persistent and it's annoying. And it's just like, bro, I'm not interested. Like, no, like in person, online, I'm not interested. It's not happening. But it's like his swag about it, how he did it. I was like, oh, okay. But even if he did it in that same way, but maybe I wasn't attracted to him or it was just nothing there, he still never would. I never would have gave in because there wasn't that, like you were saying, Mark, there wasn't that little something in me that was like, okay, he's cute. Okay, he's, he got a nice little body. Okay, I like this person.
Easy either.
Huh?
Women don't want to seem easy. They don't want to seem. That's why But they don't want to seem easy because they still want to do the have some type of value in them at the end of the day.
And I think that's where a lot of guys get confused is, okay, is she just playing hard to get, you know, and she really might like me a little bit, but she doesn't want to seem easy so I can get in there? Or is it legitimately she's not interested in me, I don't want her? And I think some men get those lines a little confused and they start to over pursue when it's not the case of I'm just not trying to play, I'm trying to play hard to get. It's the case of, nigga, I don't want your ass, and I'm never gonna want you, and that's not going to happen.
But that's a great point because men don't know. Men don't know, and we should help them along. That's why these conversations are good. That's why I say initially, if the answer is no, take that. Because let me tell you something. If the woman does like you and she's just playing hard to get,
it's not gonna be a straight no.
She's gonna resurface. If she's like, oh, man, you didn't keep pursuing me. Well, let me see how he's doing today. Hey, happy Friday.
Yeah.
We got a thing for you, even if we're trying to play. Oh, damn, he took the no. But I'm just saying for everyone's safety, take the first note as no. If that woman did or there's something about you, she's gonna resurface. She's gonna make it look like it has nothing to do with you, but she's gonna resurface.
Girl, I had this man give me a whole training session. I was like, I'm trying to get a Kim Kardashian waist and blah, blah, blah. I just said whatever. Girl, he was training. He had me touch his chest doing sit-ups. I was like, Lord Jesus, it's over with. Okay, come on. It's over with. Let me go change my underwear.
Well, Bernard, what do you want? I want you to respond because I commented on what you said. So what would you like to say regarding that? You got equipment back there? What you selling?
Nothing. I'm a filmmaker.
Oh, nice. Okay, those are lenses.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, cool. So do you want to respond to what Sarah and I said?
No, I respect it. It brought more clarity because I think that there is this game in which men are told, you know, that you gotta chase. It's like, and it's built in us all automatically. Like we're built to hunt. We're built to go out and to pursue and go for what we want. Even after the fact that we may get a form of rejection, some men be like, all right, cool, I'll bounce over to the next one. Some guys feel like I don't have no options, or some guys feel like, you know what? No, this is it. Like, I know what my heart wants, and my heart feel like this is where it's at. If a guy can't read in between the lines or just take forward, you know, the straight no, then, you know, that's on him. And he just has to be man enough to be able to take that rejection and just, hey, you know, keep it moving. It's not the end of the world. There's so many other women that are out there that you can go get, but it's just not this one, you know, in another lifetime, another parallel universe, maybe. But I think that for men such as myself, you know, I don't have a lot of options.
Yeah, you do.
Bro. But
don't tell me about my life. He's like, don't tell me about.
Let me tell you something. If you think you don't have a lot of options, you don't have a lot of options. What women like is confidence.
Yes.
No. Listen, what I'm saying is that I don't have the privilege of having it revealed before me, like, oh, this woman and that woman, it may be in secret. I have no idea. But yet at the same time, to me, it's a turnoff. If a woman was to approach me, direct turn off. I'm like, no.
Why is that a turn off?
Huh?
Why is that a turn off?
Too forward of a woman for me.
Really interesting. I think Toya trying to come back into Mark.
I'm like, well, that cancels me out because I'm the type. If I like you, I'm gonna approach you.
Exactly, and therefore I automatically know you and I are not a good match, and it's cool. I can live with it.
Let me add something else really quickly for Bernard and any other guy that may be watching. The reason why I'm very curt, the reason why I'm very abrasive in my no is because whenever there's another thing that women have to deal with that men don't have to deal with. When we get caught up in a situation with a man, you know, a bad situation, we always get blamed for it. Was your no clear? Were you friendly? Were you flirting? That's another factor that we have. Because when some people go, well, did you answer back? Did you reply? Did you engage him? So that's another reason why it's like my no is no. And if you continue inboxing me, you're going to get blocked. So that's another thing that women have to deal with that men probably don't consider or understand. Because that question always comes out. Well, how long did you talk to him? Did you respond? So I just wanted to put that out there for any of the guys watching.
I have a question for you too. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Toya.
No, I was gonna say just to that whole point of women being able to say no. The other side to that is that when a woman does say no, some men will accept that no, and I know we've already said this, but it's some crazy people out there, and that no push you in some really fucked up situations.
Girl, let's get into that, please, cause
we all heard the stories where.
Why she keep leaving?
Oh man, she bounced.
I think she was gonna get into how a lot of women, we've heard stories about women who have gotten harmed by, I don't know if I'm right or not, Toya, but women who have gotten harmed by guys or by people who have just said no because they're turning them down. I know a couple stories. For the first one that comes to my head was this girl that I went to high school with. She was a year younger than me. Her sister was shot and killed because she was at a party and it was a couple dudes around there. Dude tried to talk to her and she was like, no. She said no, she wasn't interested. And he shot and killed her. There was it wasn't her boyfriend or child's father or anything like that. It was legitimately a random situation where he tried to talk to. He probably was on drugs. I don't know, but she said no, and he shot and killed her. And I heard another story like that. Like
there was one after that on her college campus. Remember, there was one after that.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So it's really, I don't know where Toya was going with the points, so I don't want to speak for her, but I think that is interesting. She started to bring that up because that we do have to be careful. Even now, just, getting older and learning things about the world, even now, like when I'm out and about, I'm naturally a nice person anyways. Like and I don't blame guys for shooting their shot. You know what I'm saying? You see me, you don't know if I'm married. You don't know if you know what I'm saying? You might not see anything on my finger or whatever. You don't know if I'm in a relationship, if I'm single, if I'm a hoe. You don't know. I ain't gonna blame you for trying to shoot your shot. Go ahead. Now, what you do after you shoot your shot and after I give you my answer, then that falls on you. But even then, my initial response is to just, oh, baby, you look so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. Okay, thank you. You got a man? Can we talk about? No, I'm in a relationship. Sorry, that's and I try to keep it friendly and keep it moving because I realize that people are crazy as hell and they have some type of ego thing. Like I said, a lot of people unfortunately are on drugs and it changes, like heavy drugs, not no little weed, but some actually serious shit.
I want to read Raphael's comment. I want to take it back to Bernard because now I got a bother. Raphael says men have trained women over thousands of years not to upset us. It's messed up, but no wonder women don't want to be direct, which is very, very true.
The Hollywood movies.
Very, very true. Bernard, okay, so let's get into the, if I approached you and I was like, hey, how are you? I was wondering if you weren't busy, we could hang out. How is that a turnoff to you? Tell us.
Well, it's a certain type of approach, like the aggressive, like that to me is friendly. Like I get that from time to time. Hey, how you doing? Or somebody may be in my inbox. Hey, you want to go grab coffee? That type of a deal. Yeah, sure. Why not? I have no problems with grabbing coffee. But what I've had happen before was I've had women like buy me stuff. Like I had a woman buy me a jacket and a whole outfit. And I was like, no, take this back because that's weird to me. Now we're still friends.
Hold on. How long? Because remember what we talked about before, the flowers and candy? How long did you know her when she did that?
Whoa, I would say like after a month of us not even being around each other every day. I was doing a concert. I was rapping at a concert and she happened to be at the concert. Next thing you know, after the concert, hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Cool. On to the next. Next thing you know, after just talking a few times, hey, I got something for you. All right. I'm thinking like something small. This woman pulled out a box, like here's a whole outfit and here's a jacket and some shoes. And I'm like, nope, that ain't this ain't
Proves my point, right?
This ain't gonna work.
Proves our point, right?
What point?
So Jen made a point, like if Jen were to approach you in a grocery store, how would you respond?
I would be like, okay, nice to meet you. And
she's like, let's go out to dinner.
That's a bit much for me. That's a bit much for me.
You lied that.
That's so interesting.
You in the supermarket. You checking out your broccoli. Yeah. Over. And I'm like, hey, you live around here? And you're like, yeah, I live around. I'm like, I just moved into this neighborhood. I don't really know anybody. Do you mind, like, you want to join me for dinner later?
I would be like, maybe for coffee.
Okay. All right.
So if you was out and you in Las Vegas and you at the strip club and then and you go to a bar afterwards, all y'all drinking and stuff, and the girl comes up and says, hey, what's up? Like, what you want to do? You want to go to the room? Not even on no, I want to date you on some just straight.
Heck no.
Okay, interesting. You are very.
That's a capital no. Because first of all, I would not go to a strip club. Period.
Okay.
But that's a smart move.
Or even not a strip, like just a bar or something.
Don't go to the room. You have to be very careful about that stuff.
What about going to strip clubs?
No. You have to be you have to be very careful about when a woman approaches you to make sure the intentions of that, especially like since you have to be very careful. Just to see what's the intentions of that person. And
like they're not a hooker.
Yeah, it goes both ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, because she may say, okay. I mean, she may approach you. You take her back to your hotel or whatever, and afterwards she may say, give me $500. You're like, what? $500?
Or she a Chicago bitch and she set you up to rob you.
Set you up to rob you. That happens a lot. Right.
But no, like
you have to be very smart about that.
Yeah, I think, and again, this is just my own personal experiences, and this is the way my mind is wired. I just find it to be unattractive.
It makes sense.
But Bernard, that is okay, and as long as you understand. Like what I was talking about, when I'm very abrasive, I'm like, those are my experiences. Like I don't want to speak to you after I say no. Like do not contact me again. Don't think I'm playing hard to get.
Right.
I'm saying it's the same thing. So I completely understand. You're completely entitled to. That's a little too forward for me. It creeps me out. And it's interesting what you said about the gifts that she gave you, because we had a conversation before. We were talking about men that show up on a date, their first date, with flowers and candy, and it's awkward. The woman is kind of like, I'm not really into this. But the men were saying, well, that's a nice gesture. You should just accept it. But it's the same exact thing as a woman buying you a whole outfit. You're like, it's kind of like awkward. Like, let's just do the date and vibe and let's see what happens. And then let's start doing the gift giving.
But I will say this though, and this is to my own fault. I'm wired old school, which is like,
that's not a negative.
The man pursues the woman. This new era that we live in, where women is like, you know what, I'm sick of this. I ain't waiting for no man to come approach me. I'm gonna approach a man. That's acceptable, but for me, in my mind and my old way of thinking, it's just not. It may not be for me, and that's cool, But I respect the game. It is what it is. But I'm just from a different time.
Don't hate.
Wait, and Bernard, that's not a negative. Let me just clarify. There are, because I think this came up in another conversation. There are still women who like the old school men approaching them. So don't say it like it's a negative. I mean, to your point, the woman that's going to be attracted to you is going to like your style regardless. And I'm in agreement with you. I'm a little old school in that regards as well, as that even if I see a man that I do find overly attractive, I'm not going to necessarily approach him. So
I'm the same. Yeah, I'm the same.
Man, I gotta come to me too. Like but I gotta like you.
Right. No, you have to like it. Absolutely. Well, because
but you all may not approach that guy, but you all gonna let him know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we have to like.
You have to let a man. You have to let a man know.
If you keep seeing the same woman in the same popping up in the same aisle as you.
No. Wait, why you gotta do all that? What? Wait, are you trying to write a movie off this conversation? What?
Yeah. And the movie's called Options.
Options, right?
No. I mean, a woman.
You let it as a woman. You let it be known. Like the only time I usually have to end up approaching a guy, because, like I said before, I like guys that aren't flossy. I like guys that are usually off to the corner by themselves, and those kind of guys normally don't dare approach me because they're probably thinking, oh, she likes a certain type of guy. I'm not even going to try. So I have to approach them. Like, if there's a PA on set, if there's, the grip, he's not thinking, and I'm acting, right? He's not thinking, oh, she ain't checking for my dirty ass with this walkie-talkie hanging out in my pocket. And I may like him. I may like how his dirty t-shirt fits on his arms. So that guy, I have to approach. I have to, because he'll never approach me. So that's what I mean by I have to.
I don't know, Jen.
I don't approach guys. I don't approach. It don't matter. I've not approached a guy that I was attracted to. Like some people said, you let them know. I don't at all. Sometimes I'm like, damn, like, oh well, maybe next time. You know what I mean?
No.
Like for real. Like I'm honest. Like really.
I think
I've
you have
done
an
that.
issue with the truth.
No, wait. Well, this is what I would say, because I think we all have encountered closed-looking women who just look like they hate the world, don't fucking talk to me. I don't want to be fucking bothered.
Everybody says that about me. They say that about me all the time.
Right. I don't want to be bothered. So really for us to just let a man know we're interested is by looking and appearing to be open. So whether that's a smile, a grin, you make that eye contact. That's enough that if that man is really intrigued by what he sees, that usually is enough to hook him to come and find you.
Especially if he's confident enough too. Like,
exactly.
oh, like he just get that little green light, like, okay, let's go.
Look, Bernard, if she smiles at you.
No, we make it laughing with you.
It's true though, we have ways.
It's that simple.
Yeah. We definitely have ways to show we're interested.
She's gonna smile at you. That's the green light.
Right. If you make eye contact with her and she don't frown up, that's a positive sign.
So even if a woman gives like a little frown, that frown is gonna be within that frown is gonna be like she's gonna be flirting.
What about the look back?
Wait, the
look back is making sure you're not following me.
Right.
Yeah. A woman knows how to flirt even when she frowns. She knows how to flirt.
But again, that's intentional. That's I'm trying to play hard. But if I'm giving you the don't bother me, you gonna know the distinct difference.
That's true.
Right.
You gonna know the distinct difference. Like when you go into a gas station and it's interesting. The niggas that be in the gas station got the most confidence in the motherfucking world. They be the ones that
hosted.
Hey, they don't care. They ain't got nothing to lose.
Everywhere in Chicago, every gas station.
So they're going to approach you. Now, for me, I'm like, for my safety, I'm not gonna be like, get the fuck away from me.
Right.
But so I'm common sense. But when they're like, hey, can I get your number? My response is like, no, I'm good, but I appreciate it.
So, like, oh, thank you. I'm sorry, I can't. Yeah.
Right.
And so I don't do that. I just keep walking. So what do you say to somebody? What do you say to a person that just keeps walking?
Listen,
something.
I was gonna say sometimes you gotta have street smart. You can't walk away from everybody. You gotta hit them with that kindness and keep it moving. But Jenny, what were you gonna say?
I want to ask Deanna something. Deanna, so you see the guy of your dreams physically, the smile and everything. And you're completely just gonna walk away. You're not gonna smile at him, give him a little, excuse me, none of that.
Excuse me.
Well, I mean, I've done that before, so that's why I said it. That's why I was actually speaking on it. Like I've done it. I'm like, damn, like I should have like went back or turned around or like did something.
So would you go
I've
back
done it before. No.
Okay.
Because I don't pursue guys. Like I'm not the pursuer. A lot of times, like even in my past relationships, I've known people for a long time. You know what I mean? So it's like friends and stuff like that. I've never dated somebody based off of like their social status or nothing like that. I was never attracted by that because I was always about business.
You was always about the what?
I was always about business. Like I'm always a busy person. I try to be busy, like perfect my craft and things of that sort. So a lot of times I'm not interested in the next cute guy. Like a lot of times I'm falling upon a guy because I'm actually working with that person or I happen to meet them somewhere I was actually going to do something. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, yeah.
So no new friends.
Say that again?
So no new friends, no guy at the supermarket reaching down for his lettuce and his bicep is bulging.
Hey. Yeah, like, well, like honestly, physiques are not like that important to me. It's nice to have. It's not saying that I don't like it. It's just like it's not that important to me because I'm more in tune with a person's attitude. Like if you have something like that's more attractive to me, like your attitude.
That's great.
I was gonna say, I need to get my life together.
I like guys like.
I'm not saying it's not attractive. I'm just saying like that doesn't stick out as much as someone's attitude.
And I will say, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mark.
No, Sarah. But you see how Jen, when she said this, she said something, right? She said that she's more attracted to the guy's attitude. Deanna,
Mm-hmm.
Did you see how Toya and Jen responded to that?
What we say?
No, I didn't. What?
No, I'm saying, do you see how they responded to when she said, "Oh, okay, yeah." An hour ago, they were talking about they're not interested in the guys with options.
No, that's still different.
You heard her.
You need to the conversation.
The way I took options was like I was already looking at it as a negative thing. So I was thinking like this guy's a hoe. Like he's trying to pursue whoever the options are. Because Mark, you didn't say it like that. You was like, this guy got options in the beginning. You were like options. So the options, quote unquote, came off as a negative thing. So I'm like, nah, he must be a hoe then. So no, I don't want a guy that has options because I don't,
Yep, agreed.
I'm not saying
I took it.
Well, wait, and Mark, I just want to say this because you think you petty. That's what you're doing right now. This is what I want to say. At the end of the day, I have to find an attraction to you, especially if we're not working close together. So if we're in a public setting, there has to be something that draws me to you. It could be your smile. Hell, it could be your haircut, depending on the day. But it has to be something that attracts me to you. Now, once we get past that superficial surface level, there has to be something that really attracts me to you to then give you my phone number. So you could be attractive, but in that 30-second pitch of conversation, if you say something that I'm like, you sound real suspect, you're not gonna get further than that.
I agree with you 1,000%.
Right. I'm not blind. We're not blind. So the first thing we see is your body. That's
right.
None of us are blind.
Wait a second. That's new to me.
Wait, and let's just say that we all have been guilty of dating some bugaboo looking people. So it's not right.
But let me tell you, all the bugaboos I've dated grew on me.
Facts.
Grew on me, and I'm like, oh, you're funny. Oh, you let's go get a sandwich. Then let's watch this movie. Then let's watch this movie at my house. Then grow on you.
There's something key that you said. The first thing that you said about the ugly dude was he was funny. Women love a man who are funny.
Oh, absolutely.
That is so true. That's definitely me. Like if I'm at a store, I've seen a lot of, I don't want to say ugly people, but I've seen people that I'm not attracted to. And like I could be in the line at a grocery store getting a candy bar, and maybe the guy is like turn around and starts talking to me. Because a lot of times they'll try to talk to you, like make like small talk, right? And like they may talk to you, and you're like, man, I'm not attracted to this guy. But he might say something funny, and I'm like, oh. And I might turn around again just to kind of look back. Like, I don't know, that's just me. But, sometimes it's not all, for me, it's not all about what they look like. I mean, it's a plus, but sometimes I'm more of like a conversation person. Like, if you can't hold a conversation, funny, whatnot, I will not be attracted to you, like at all.
Yeah. Ayana asks, do women lose out if we don't put ourselves out there? Do women lose out if they don't put themselves out there?
Absolutely.
What do you mean by out
it's
there?
possible.
What do you mean by out there?
Ayana, what do you mean by out there?
That's why I said don't block your blessings.
Listen, in my Mark Harris voice, absolutely.
Yes, sir.
I don't know because I got options. But there's always somebody saying,
I know.
I got options. So
yeah,
like, when you say options, does she mean like vulnerability, or does she mean like give out like? sexual.
No, I mean,
like, what do you mean?
I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that the man is taking those options. But again, we want attractive people.
Well, but I would just say this to the question about can women miss out? Certainly, especially if we are giving off the vibe of I want a man, but I don't want to be bothered. So if you're giving off the I don't want to be bothered energy, then you're not going to attract, what it is that you actually desire. And it's a lot of women who wear the world on their shoulders and they look like it. And they look angry. They look like don't say nothing to me, don't ask me about nothing, and then be the same women complaining about no good men out there.
Why I can't find a man?
Why I can't find a man? So you definitely can block your own blessings if you don't allow yourself to not just be open, but appear to be open.
Well, let me ask you this, ladies, talking about being open. Is this still a fact or is this a myth that women are open to bad boys and that the good guys don't get anything?
Oh, he wants another hour from us. He wants another hour.
Right?
Let's dispel that myth.
I've tried to dispel that myth a million times.
You know what, Jen? I was gonna go to your favorite word. It needs balance. You need to have balance. Okay, there needs to be balance in a relationship. but for real, so I will speak to that real quick.
That was perfect. That was perfect.
I've listened to you enough, girl. I love you. I love you. But no, for real, like I think it does need to be okay. So I think that is a myth when it comes to women just they only want bad guys and good guys can't get any play and blah blah blah. No. It has nothing to do with good guys can't get no play and we want bad guys. Corny motherfuckers can't get no fucking play. There is a difference, okay? There is a difference.
I'm corny.
So define that, please.
Corny.
I'm corny.
What we say, Mark? Bringing the flowers to the first date, showing up in a limo with the chocolate.
See, I would like that. I would like that. I would like a picnic too. So like
you like and you look to each his own. That's cool.
But see, wait, let me clarify, Deanna. You would like that from somebody who you already know. We said from a first date.
Like yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like never. That's what I'm like. If that's what you like, but. It's so in general, and there are women though who on the first date would absolutely love that. But again, we always know exceptions, generalization, not all, blah blah. Yeah, we know. But majority, a lot of people would think that it's kind of corny, or just like I don't know how to explain corny. You know, people are fucking corny. Nick Cannon is fucking corny. Like, and it's a lot of females that love Nick Cannon. I'm sure that nigga's corny. Bow Wow is corny. Okay, all them niggas is corny. So it's a difference, huh?
Would you consider Nick Cannon to be corny though?
Yes.
It depends if he's not your type.
Hey, Nick Cannon is corny. He's corny, and he just made me lose. He's corny, and he just made me lose some respect for him for how he did what's his face on that whole the drama happening between what the fuck is it on Wild 'N Out and it Emmanuel Hudson.
I never liked the show.
It was just some shit that he did with that. I won't go into it, but he's corny.
He's pretty corny. And what I don't like about Nick Cannon,
dry humor.
What I don't like about Nick Cannon is that he let get to his head that the only reason he's popular is because he's popular and he has money. Nick Cannon really believes his own shit. Nick Cannon thinks that people like him because of him. He's a cornball. Like Nick Cannon is a cornball. And you can tell. Like
but if he brought me flowers and chocolates, I would probably be happy.
He doesn't even know who he is. That's why he's wearing a turban now. He's like Black Power. The next week he's a square. The next week he's in a purple suit with green.
You know, he used to roll with Khaled.
With who?
Khaled. That's what the Khaled.
Cornball that used to work with Khaled. He's a cornball. Rizza Islam is a cornball too.
I'm not going to talk about Rizza like that.
Rizza Islam is a
I'm not going to let you talk about Rizza.
Mark about to
Rizza Islam is a cornball.
Mark's glasses and fogged up, Jen. You didn't say it too much.
No, so we're not. Saying because a lot of unfortunately, that myth is regurgitated. Women like bad boys. Women like bad boys. Women like excitement and spontaneity, right? So I prefer a nerd and I always use this example. I prefer a guy who's a full-blown nerd and techie, but who's gonna come home and rip my panties off every Friday. You know what I mean? You don't have to be a bad boy. You just have to have balance. You have to be spontaneous. I prefer a nerd that's spontaneous over a guy with a leather jacket and pulling up in the ninja. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hit my mama. Get on the back of my bike. I don't want anything to do with that guy.
And even then, though, what you said about him being a nerd, and you wanted him to come home and rip your panties off, that's still what I was saying when it comes to the whole balance thing, because he still has I think I'm a fucking nerd. I think my fucking man, I think we're nerds together because we like playing video games and doing stuff on a computer. I played fucking World of Warcraft before, okay? That's how nerdy can you get. But it's a balance there because, you know what I'm saying? You got that sex bit, and it's like you the alpha male. So I think it's important because you might somebody like, oh, well, based on what he's done before and how he acts, you know, this nigga's a bad guy. No. You can be a very nice guy. That's fine. Nice men win all the time. Like Jen said, a lot of us prefer nice guys, not the typical biker, you know, like what she was saying. But you have to you can't be all that's to you is you being nice. That's all that you have to offer.
I think it's something you are missing out on.
Go ahead, Mark.
I think the most important thing that you are missing out on is women want to feel protected.
Yes, absolutely.
If women, like, you could be like look like the nerdiest dude, right? But if she know that you are going to protect her, you got it.
Well, absolutely. And I'm going to say this. The other thing is that women need the experience with a bad boy to appreciate the opposite. And you know, I think if this was a group of women in their early 20s, they would completely disagree with what we're saying, because at the end of the day, when I think about it in my 20s, I was not thinking about no good man. Like, my expectations and standards was different. Like, I enjoyed let's say that. So it's like as I've gotten older and I've matured and my expectations and relationships have evolved, the type of man that fits into my expectations is not the bad boy. It is the man.
I gotta think back to when I was a trap queen. What was I thinking?
Here's the thing. The thing is this, right?
A trap queen.
Like even
made the song for her.
To tell the point, right? When I put the nice guy in quotes, right? When a nice guy thinks that the woman wants the bad boy, she doesn't want the bad boy. Just think about it this way, right? And most times we think the bad boy is the street dude, right? But the street dude who's always in trouble, who's going in and out of jail, many times the dude in and out of jail, he's in and out of jail. He's really not that gentleman. He's really not that protector. He's really not what she's looking for, and that's not what most women look for, because she knows, like a woman, she knows, like, if this dude's in and out of jail, especially spending 5 years, 10 years in jail, and he's supposed to be the bad boy, he's getting busted anyway.
Well, wait, let me say this though. Those men, whether they street dudes or not, they provide a different level of security depending on the type of security that you're looking for. So even the dude who, let's say, for instance, is in and out of jail, you know, it's some women out there that they man in jail, but he's still providing, he's still sending what they need, you know, to take care of their household. So the security can still be there, but that's not my point.
I think you missed my point.
Maybe you was doing this. I
was trying to say something about, you know, like if a dude is in and out of jail, more likely he's a switcher. You know what I'm saying? So he's really not the like,
to get him booty bump is what he's trying to say.
Right. So, you see what I'm saying? So when dudes like and I put the quote nice guy in quotes, right? Because the nice guy really not the nice guy. When a nice guy say, well, she wants the bad boy, that's not what she's looking for. She ain't a woman is not looking for a dude that's in and out of jail getting smashed in the butt or smashed. No.
I didn't know that's what we're talking
about. Like I think these are very clear when they say that they're looking for excitement and they're looking for protection. They want to be made secure.
Well, Mark, I'm just gonna say this: when Bernard asked the question of bad boy and good guy or whatnot, your description of bad boy did not cross my mind. So this one
What do people think? They think the bad boy is dude.
I don't know where you went.
No. If you ask Bernard right now, what is the bad boy? He's gonna more than likely say, "What, Bernard? The street dude, right?"
Street dude. Yep.
Exactly.
That's what I thought he was talking about. That's
Danny, your camera's a little choppy, babe.
So it's like most when most dudes say the bad boy, they think about the dude on the street.
Okay. Right. We don't think when I hear bad boy, I think that's in and out of jail, getting fucked in the ass.
Yeah, I think what Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, Mark. I think what Mark is trying to say is that so like people say, oh, we want the bad boy and stuff like that, and you have this, and most people when they think of the bad boy, they think of like the street guy, and oh, he's so tough because you know he's on the street, he got guns, he dealing drugs, he you know a crip, mo, whatever. Yes. But in reality, those same guys that you know say a lot of that. That's what women think that they want. However, these are the same niggas that say that. A lot of them are the same ones that do be getting booty bumped, going in and out of jail, and they're trying to act like they're so tough. And women are thinking, because a lot of women, I would say to that point, get bamboozled. Because even the guy, he's not going to say, yeah, I'm you know, having sex with guys in the prison. I fucked this many dudes, and I was this guy's bitch. But I'm with you now, though, honey. It's cool. They're not going to say that. They're going to leave all of that out. So as a woman, you're like, oh, I'm with this guy. You know, maybe you will say the young women, Toya, because, you know, I think that is a younger mentality for a lot of people too. But you know, they feel like, oh well, I got this guy now, and you know, he be in the streets and he can protect me because he got guns. But really, it's like, nah, boo-boo, because if it really comes down to real protection and something really happened, he probably he's not what you're looking for. This, like I said, this guy's in it. He's not telling you he get him, you know, blah blah. And it's fine if that's what if you want to be with a man that is bisexual or has done it, then that's your priority. I'm not judging that either. But
wait a minute. Wait. I'm like, wait a minute. Somewhere else. Because remember, white girls, all kind of racial women, everybody has an idea of bad boy, and no one's thinking girl automatically. We're thinking guys that don't give a fuck about anything, act like they don't care, run the street, are the ones in the group that could fuck people up. The one that got the guns, ain't nobody thinking, oh, the bad boy means jail.
No, so I get that. I was saying, I think that's where Mark was going with it, but I know what y'all saying. Yeah, the general, yeah.
Right, that's where Mark went, but I'm like, no, the bad boy, like I hear a white men talk about, oh, women just like the bad boy. They're not talking about some dude that's in and out of prison.
What you talking about?
They talk about a guy with a fuck the world mentality.
No. Okay. We're dealing with a totally different mentality. We talk about
a bad boy.
No. I just Bernard, when you say bad boy, what do you mean? He said the dudes on the street.
Right, the street guy.
Street dudes, right?
Who's a bad boy?
So I'm saying normally when you think of a street dude, what do you think about? You think about somebody who's selling dope, somebody who's in the gang, so forth and so on. And more than likely, what does that the end result is? More than likely is do a little bit of prison time. You understand?
Okay. All right.
It can be like if you just leave the results out and just stick to the fact that some women are attracted to the allure of danger, of that excitement of what's going to happen next.
Okay.
Some younger women are caught up in that. I mean, I don't know if it's being enforced through hip hop or through these movies or whatever it is, or it could just be within a woman's nature to be like, I love that sense of danger because
that's in our nature.
Protected.
I agree with that because in my opinion, I agree with that because in my opinion, bad boy doesn't automatically mean you know that bad boy may be getting hit in the ass. Like a bad boy could just be the asshole of the group, and all of you work on Wall Street. But this guy's the asshole of the group. Attracted to
that's
asshole. So it doesn't have to be the drug dealer getting fucked in the ass.
There are many examples. I was using that as an example.
Okay.
Okay. So at the same.
How we get here?
So most times when they talk about the bad boys, right? They normally talk about the dudes on the street. Well, who else are they talking about?
Well, they talking about I think the point that Sarah said was the nigga that don't give a fuck about nothing. Who he living for the moment. You right there living for the moment with him. Right. Y'all not really together, but you are. Like it's the nigga that gives you the rush of just, you know.
I don't consider.
You want your yogurt?
You kind of went extremely left.
But I don't think those men to be. So there's a difference.
Wait a minute, Mark. Let me clarify though. You asked women.
No. Let me say.
Bernard asked women what's the difference between the bad guy, the bad boy, and the good guy, and we telling you how we visualize the difference could be. It's not necessarily that he got to be a nigga that's been in and out of prison. It's just the rush, the conceptual rush of being in this irresponsible ass relationship.
Those are alpha men, and alpha men are different than bad boys.
Wait, what?
So alpha men are different. Like we talk about the men that you are attracted to are men who are alpha. Men will give you that rush. Men who know the balance, right? So what Bernard is talking about, and I asked him, so like when you think about bad boys, what do you think about? Normally the dudes on the street. Now those men, a lot of those men, some of them are definitely are alpha men, but a lot of those men are not alpha men. They're bad boys pretending to be alpha men. You understand? There's a big difference between the two. There's a difference between bad boys and alpha men. What you are describing are alpha men, not bad boys. There's a big difference.
Wait, you said we're describing alpha men?
Yeah, you are describing when you are talking about. Bernard used a great example when he said that the excitement that a man gives you. Like, say for instance, if a man gonna say, okay, we're gonna go, go on some type of excitement. Maybe, I don't know, jumping out of airplanes and flying planes, or I'm just using these as
that's not a bad boy.
That's an alpha. I'm saying. I'm not saying that is a bad boy. I'm saying there's a difference between men who are alpha men and bad boys. Like when you talk about bad boys, right? Like an example of men on Wall Street, right? Men on Wall Street and the guy who's on Wall Street who's successful, who's doing this thing, who's in this masculine energy, that's not a bad boy per se. But that is.
He's an asshole. He is. If he's stealing if he's embezzling money, he is. If he don't give a fuck about rules, he is a bad boy in comparison to his friends.
Alpha men are never assholes. Never assholes. Men who are alpha men are never assholes. Never assholes. They know how. Men who are you dealing with. There's a difference. Okay, listen. There's a difference.
All men are assholes. First of all men are assholes. What are you talking about? Every man on this planet. If you have a penis, you are an asshole in some way, shape, or form. Okay.
There's a difference. There's a big difference between what an alpha man is and what a bad boy is. A bad boy can be an asshole, be a thug, be a gangbanger, also whatever, and women could be attracted to that. Women could be attracted to that. But these men sometimes can be in their masculine energy, sometimes not. Again, they could be in the prison and get busted in the butt. These are what you call bad boys. Now, I'm talking about what you are referring to are not bad boys. You are referring to alpha men. Alpha men could be the dude on Wall Street, the dude who alpha men. Let me just be clear. Alpha men are never assholes. Alpha men are the men who's going to get your door for you. Alpha men who are confident. Alpha men who are men going to treat you right. Alpha men are men who are going to, like James, give an example of what's that movie you always use? Mr. Gray.
50 Shades of Grey.
50 Shades of Grey. That's an alpha man. He's gonna give you that. He's gonna give you that excitement, but at the same time, give you that excitement. He's gonna may even cook some dinner for you. You know what I'm saying? That's an alpha man. That's not a bad boy. There's a big difference between the two.
And Mark, what you just said, I agree. You lost me with the jail and the stuff. But no, I agree. I think that's a fair, especially being, for me being in my mid-30s, I would totally agree that an alpha man is the type of man that I desire. But I also know in my 20s, I wasn't necessarily looking for an alpha man. What if somebody was just if a man in my 20s approached me and I got the sense that he was going to give me stability and we was going to be at home every day, and before Netflix we was going to be watching the movie on TV, that's not what I was interested in. Wow. I can be honest, in my 20s, that's not what I was interested in. Now, as I got older, in my late 20s, that started to be less appealing, and I started to look more for that stability. So as far as the bad boys, it wasn't necessarily I was dealing with, niggas that was running in the street, but at the same time, what they were on was not longevity. What they was talking about and doing certainly wasn't going to make it a stable relationship. So for me, that's my visualization of a bad boy versus let's say the good guy or the alpha male, so to speak. But again, not
the alpha male is really the good guy.
Correct. I said good guy / alpha male. I'm in agreement with that. But I'm just saying there is a difference between the two. And depending on where a woman's maturity is will dictate which type of guy is most appealing to her.
Absolutely.
Ayana said, nah, I can't let you talk about Rizza Islam. Rizza Islam is powerful. Alpha male for the millennials. I disagree.
Okay, so
Rizza's an alpha male.
Okay. So let me just say this too. So to your point, Toya, right? You said, but women when they know themselves, right, and, you know, when they're very feminine women, they always seeking the alpha male. Even when they're young, they may not know what an alpha male is, or they may sometimes they confuse a bad boy with an alpha male.
I agree, because even when I was young, I was like that. I wanted the guy, because being from the Bronx, like even when I was young, I didn't understand it, but that's what I gravitated towards. Like even in the little crew on the gang on the corner, I wanted the guy that was the best fighter out of everybody. I wanted to be the guy that had hands. I'm like, all right, he got hands, I like him. I don't know about this other little guy here. So it's true.
It's natural. It's natural. Like women naturally want the man.
I was like, yeah, I don't want that other guy. I heard this guy is the best fighter in the group.
I think that's interesting too. I think, like, to Toya's point as well, just depending on where you're at. Because I told you before, Mark, I met my guy when I was 20, and we're 10 years apart. He's 10 years my senior. So I was 20, he was 30. And so obviously he was still, 30 is still young, but he was still like, I still believe that women mentally mature faster than guys, right? Which is why a lot of times when women date older, it ends up working out, because our minds are at the place where the men are finally at there now. So so when we met, he was 30 and he was already like, you know, like established, had his stuff. And so it's just funny because I had the experience, like I would say my ex was a bad boy, but he definitely was like more, I guess, street or whatever. And I've dated people like that just because the environment that we've grown up around, South Side of Chicago, whatever. And it's like when I met that, even with me being so young at 20, when I met him, it was like, I don't know, that stability and that comfort and stuff, that was like, I kind of saw that was and it's not like he right away was like, oh yeah, baby, I'm gonna put you up and we gonna do this and that, blah, blah, blah. At first he was trying to act like he didn't want to even be in a relationship. That's another story. But you know, once we got to that stage where it was like more serious and it's like, okay, like we're spending more time, it's like that was actually like comforting, and I kind of liked that. And I think that's when my mind even started changing, because I was like, wow, this is a guy that is different than I've dated before, because a lot of these other guys, like you were saying, they might not be I thought they were the alpha male. I'm thinking, oh, my nigga fighting, doing all this other stuff. But now when I see the difference, and like what Toy was saying, being older and seeing the difference, and wiser, seeing the difference in relationships, it's like, okay, now I get what you're saying, as far as that there definitely is a difference in, as far as like the whole alpha male bad boy thing.
So to your whole thing of what you just got finished talking about, this whole age difference and this level of maturity, it kind of goes back to what I was saying before. When a guy approaches a woman and a woman says no at that time, she may not know what she needs, not maybe what she wants, but she may not know what she needs in her life.
Yeah, but there's still that is true, but it doesn't, just because like this guy might be stable and have this money and all that stuff, that still doesn't mean he still could come off like being a fucking creep. That's why I said it's about your approach. Like
that's not for you to correct though. Like, that's none of your business.
Wait a second. Leave her.
It's not. You're right. It's not.
A woman says no, whether she knows what's good for her or not. You gotta say, I did you a deal.
Don't take on no.
But let me say this. Let me ask this: is it okay for that man to say, you know what? Cool. I'll put a stake in it right now, but I'll be back in 3 years when you mature.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
No.
I'm joking. It's a joke.
No.
You know how to do the movies.
No.
Let her.
I got it. No option.
Nah, you wasn't joking. That was a real question, and it's okay. That was a real question.
No, that was a joke. That was a straight trigger joke. Straight trigger joke.
You take that as her loss and keep it moving. No. Bernard, you can say you joking all day. There was a little truth to that. No.
In all seriousness, if a guy can wait for a woman 3 years, that I ain't gonna say that's rare.
I'm crazy. Do it.
Huh?
I'm
saying personally, I would not do it.
Okay.
But on the other end, though, I will say because of that, again, that level of maturity. Flash forward 3 years, if he doesn't find anybody and destiny just happens to be where they come across each other again, her mind just might change.
Okay, but Bernard, that's different. It's one thing if we are out living our lives and our paths recross.
That's
it's
what I'm saying.
Another thing when you say I'm waiting.
When you start stalking,
so
no, I mean,
that's that dude that's been in Jen's inbox for 10 years and shit.
You know what's a good example? Have you seen the movie 5 Heartbeats?
Yes. Love that movie.
5 Heartbeats. You had the beta male brother, which Robert Townsend. Mm-hmm. You had he was kind of an asshole.
Fireboy,
which was his brother, right? Who did the woman want?
The bad boy.
Because he was
in the movie, or are you talking to us like what we want? What we would have wanted?
In the movie, he wanted the brother because the brother
Eddie Kane.
He didn't care. No, Eddie Kane. It was Leon.
Leon, yeah.
Oh, Leon. Okay.
So was he the bad boy?
He wanted the bad boy.
He was the bad boy. He was the bad boy.
Right. They didn't want Shy Guy.
He just had a fuck the world attitude, like I said.
Right. So he was the bad boy. He was a bad boy, but he was in his alpha energy. So here's the thing. So you notice the Robert Townsend character was writing up poetry, putting poetry in. They don't do all that. You know what I'm saying? Like be respectful, but be the what's that brother's name? Be the Leon.
Be the Leon.
Balance, Mark. Balance.
Yeah,
balance.
I don't know about
Leon had balance.
At the end of the movie, he did.
Yeah, but he had the movie too.
Yeah.
He had balance. He was just like women, but he balanced it out. He was a player.
Well, technically, he did lose the woman that he loved in order to come to his senses.
Oh, who eventually became his wife?
Yes.
Raphael said, "This brother really got to come on." I'm tired of reading.
I'm loving his comments though.
You see that last shit? Now you are in the Christian Grey category, okay? He said maintaining attraction in a long-term relationship is managing the tension between security and excitement. Alpha males can maintain the excitement of the bad boys. They are leaders, but they'll keep excitement in a way that doesn't compromise security. So their lady can enjoy the excitement because she knows she's ultimately safe and secure financially and emotionally.
Hey, he need to write a book.
Raphael, you single? How old are you?
She's stupid.
What you look like? He's like 5'8".
5'8". Jen, how tall are you? You can't be that tall.
I'm 5'3".
Exactly. I knew it.
Oh my goodness.
My friend, one of my best friends is 5'3".
My daddy was over 6 feet. That's what I'm going with.
I'll be a giant.
You are so small.
He makes a very valid point. You get everything in the alpha man.
And
that's why they rule.
Check this out. Look what Robin said.
And you said what now?
Robin said, but these 50 shades of gray type of guys don't exist to us females who are not on that level to get him. I'm stuck with the little cookies of the world or the funny guy that I will never give a chance to.
I don't agree with that.
That's very true.
I don't agree with that.
Certain men attract certain women, right? So if you look across the board, right, you look at the women across. Then now we're gonna use the athletes and the entertainers and stuff like that. They're gonna attract certain women.
Well, yeah, they are.
You know what I'm saying? So not necessarily saying that these are all alpha men. I'm not saying that at all. But you know what I'm saying. So, but a lot of
So this is what I'll say, Mark, and I don't know if you were going this direction or not, but with everybody being quarantined, it has put all of us at this common level, right? We're all in the house stuck. And what it has really shown, as I'm looking at different people, IG lives and so forth, is that a lot of these people who you thought was like, you know, popping and like, oh man, these are some boring ass people.
Yeah.
Boring, vanilla, like watching paint dry.
That's so true.
So it's like getting a closer, getting an opportunity to really see people in their truth. This has actually been a chance to realize, like, yeah, you got a little bit of money, but you ain't got no character at all.
Did you see Toya where they and look, I ain't mad because if people are paying this and they being stupid and want to do this, then that's on them, girl. Make your money how you make it. But did you see how Black China is charging people? They said like $950 for anybody that's watching that hasn't seen this yet. Supposedly, Black China is charging people $900. They said like $950. Mm-hmm. Payment plans are included if you need a payment plan. $950 to FaceTime with her. You can also pay for, what was the other one? So it was FaceTime.
Follow back.
Right. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Jen. Yes. And a follow back. I forgot how much the follow back was, but she's like charging people like I think it was like $250 or $400 for a follow back from her, and then $950 for a FaceTime.
Before that happened, I was gonna charge $20 for WhatsApps with me. Before that Black China thing happened.
Yeah, I think it's great if it can work.
And that's what I said. What's the first thing I said? The first thing I said was, I'm not mad at her. Make your money how you make it. If people want to be crazy and pay that much money, go right ahead. I ain't mad at her. I wish I was big enough to charge people to say, hey, you want to pay $950 to FaceTime? I ain't mad at her. It just speaks to what Toya was saying, that now this is bringing out a lot of stuff, like just with people and them being boring. I'm not saying Black China boring, supposedly she gets boring head, but that's another story. But
what if Instagram start charging people to be on Instagram?
They would kill their whole thing.
I was gonna do it because a lot of people inboxed me questions. A lot of people asked me for advice, and I was gonna say,
why don't you?
20 minutes for $20. You cannot ask me out on a date. You can ask me anything else. And this was before Black China did the thing.
Well, yeah, I say if the business is there now, monetize.
Do it, absolutely.
Yeah,
yes, 100%. I just thought it was interesting, and I think that's crazy if you pay.
I just know that she doesn't. I mean, she's not attracted to me, and I'm like, I don't know why you would. Like, what are you gonna say to you?
That's what I'm like. Look, let me tell you something. I will pay $950 to FaceTime Black China if I thought that at the end of that call, somehow she was going to put me on to make to really get big and make a lot of money. Then absolutely, because then you're investing in yourself. But people just finna get on there trying to see her face and that's it. And then that's the end of it. There's nothing after. Come on now. But hey, that's why I said people will do it. So I ain't mad at her at all. Babe, get your money. Okay, $950 for a FaceTime call. What?
I was gonna say all you need is 100 dummies. That's all you need.
Hello.
That's it.
And she's probably already did that already.
Not 150.
People getting their coins together right now. I gotta talk to Black China. Ma, you got 25 cents.
Well, look, you do know. Some people got their stimulus check, so we know where half of it's going.
Hello, right? Exactly. Hey, we already know. Jen said she was donating her.
That was perfect timing, actually.
Yeah, the pastor gonna get all my money.
I said Jen definitely giving it to the pastor.
Everybody who knows I'm lying.
I'm trying to see. I'm looking at some of these comments. Would you say when it comes to
I don't know how to get to them.
Somebody said, would you say when it comes to the street guy, there are alpha men of the street? Oh, is that
Absolutely.
There are alpha men of the street.
Yeah, but those are normally the leaders.
Huh?
Those are normally the leaders.
You think Trump is an alpha male?
Yeah, those are normally the leaders. They're not normally the street soldiers. You know what I'm saying? But those are normally the leaders.
Do you think Trump is an alpha male?
Trump is absolutely the alpha male.
Oh yeah.
Like Jeff Ford and you talking about
You said Trump. You said Trump, right? You said Trump? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. That's why in the trip.
Oh Lord, we about to talk politics now.
No, that's why.
Oh Lord.
You said that's why what?
Trump is an alpha male.
Well, Trump is the greatest president we've ever had. So.
I don't think
Say
Trump
what?
is alpha male.
I said Trump is the greatest president we've
Trump
ever
is
had.
alpha male.
Stutter?
I don't think Trump is an alpha male. You know why? Now I'm going to use your words against you.
Because he's an asshole.
I'm just playing Bernard.
I know. That's what
You said the alpha male is never an asshole.
That's
This is the
relative.
biggest asshole we've seen.
That's relative.
What?
That's what you said, Mark.
That's relative.
Facts.
Jen, break point.
That's what you said. And Trump is the biggest disrespectful asshole there is. So I think that's beta behavior. But you just said he was an alpha male.
Stop bringing up old stuff. You been petty now.
Drink up.
You was waiting for that one.
No, I just realized that. I was like, wait a minute.
She was like, okay, I need to get that nigga back.
It just dawned on me. I was like, wait a minute, but Trump is I said, let me ask. Let me see. He ain't no different alpha male. He's actually a man child.
He's crazy.
He's a man child. If it wasn't for his money, he'd be out on the street, some beta asshole cursing women out. He's a beta.
Let me tell you what makes Trump an alpha male, right? Let me tell you this.
How to prove this? Okay, I'm listening.
Right, right. Here's the thing with Trump, right? We may not like him, but some of the things that he do, like in terms of like even with the World Health Organization and taking funds away from him and stuff like that, he's some of the decisions that he's making. I'm not going to say this. Let's just move on because let's just move on. But
we wait because you want to come tomorrow.
Bold moves.
Assholes make bold moves all the time.
All the time.
Doesn't make them alpha male.
I don't think he's the alpha male.
But I thought he said alpha males are not assholes. Or did I understand that?
When I'm speaking of in terms of when I say assholes, I'm speaking of in terms of when they deal with women. They always know how to deal with women. They deal with women like a gentleman.
I'm not with Trump when he with his wife.
Hell, y'all at once.
I don't know what he's like when he's with his wife.
No, but he treats his women.
He's grabbing him by the,
Trump is a bad boy.
He's grabbing him by.
You can go with that.
Trump is a bad boy.
Very badly. He's very disrespectful to women.
Let's go to something else. Okay, so.
Right here.
I think he's drinking tea.
I think Marky lost this round, but good job.
Yeah. I think y'all all texting each other.
I know. I'm trying to figure out.
Y'all all texting each other. And then y'all sent the text to Jen. Ask him about the bad boy.
You know Jen's gonna come with it. Use a lie.
You got okie doke, Mark. Raphael said he agreed to.
How y'all get to the messages? I don't see nothing.
Wait, we got a challenge though. Kevin says Trump is on top, so he is alpha.
Well, I don't know about that because I didn't look at I love Obama, but I didn't look at him as an alpha man.
What?
All right, this is my opinion.
He is the opinion.
Mark,
they gonna take us offline.
Right, he agreed.
You know what? Okay, you know who I think are alpha men, right? When I look at alpha men, I look at of course, Minister Farrakhan, right? You're looking at a Khaled.
My daddy.
Right. My father was an alpha man. Like my father, he was definitely alpha man. Who else would I say like an alpha?
Are you an alpha man, Mark?
Absolutely. I don't take no. Toya, Toya. What would you say?
Listen, I concur, Mark. You are. I concur. Wait, somebody, my studio audience says that Michelle was more alpha than Obama was.
No, absolutely not. Barack Obama. I don't think so. Watch Barack Obama. Watch any video of Barack Obama. Now, I'm not taking nothing from Michelle. Very smart lady, very strong lady. Okay? But watch Barack in any interaction with a man. from another country, and then watch Trump in any interaction with that same man in this country or another country. Okay.
Okay. I agree.
Okay.
Question.
Like Obama was real love and cuddly, but when he was interacting with another man, we knew the man in that room was Barack.
I agree.
Disagree with you.
That was a man.
Here's why I'm going to disagree with you.
You can talk crazy. Lots of people talk crazy.
Here's why I'm going to disagree.
That's what alpha men do, Jen.
So maybe okay. So I don't want to go there. Well, I love him.
He's the epitome of an alpha male. He was on that podium talking about wars and who he done bombed and how it was going to go down and how it was going to happen. And this was an alpha. This is what we're going to do. No. And you could go home and be a gentleman to your woman. He's not an asshole to his women.
Like and your children. And your children.
And his children, and raise a family, and be stellar, and dress like that, and look like that, and talk like that, and walk like that.
No scandals. No scandals.
No scandals. He is the epitome of an alpha male. Something a man child with money.
Let me find out
a man child with money. What happened?
I said, let me find out you trying to slide into Obama DMs.
Michelle ain't having it.
Michelle definitely ain't having it. Listen, listen, Jen, I love you, but Michelle like family now.
I'm not that he's married, but if he was single, I could get Barack.
But you know what, Barack? But see now, Jen, wait a minute though. Barack gonna have a lot of options. Now, you sure you want that?
Ooh.
I'll take my chances again. I'll take my chances for that man.
But Barack's not interested in those options.
Country bumpkin acting not worth it. But Barack, he may be worth it. He may be worth someone to say my titties. He may be worth it.
Listen, you're not gonna date too many presidents, right? So, hey, you gotta take that one.
He may be worth the drama. I mean, come on.
Y'all saw Raphael comment with Trump. He said Trump is insecure, so he tries to put people down so he can feel superior. Trump treats people like shit because that's how he feels about himself. Alpha men are pack builders who pursue peace and resort to violence only when necessary. Trump doesn't build teams. He wants it all for himself because he is fearful. Alpha men don't move from a piece of fear. 100% agree. 100%.
Yeah, I agree too.
I agree with that, but I'm not necessarily saying I agree with that as it relates to Trump. And I'm not a Trump supporter.
So you don't think in general that alpha men are pack builders and they pursue peace and resort to violence?
I agree with all of that.
You said when Trump though.
I said everything that he said about alpha men, I agree with, but I said I wouldn't attach Trump to that.
What?
That he's not insecure?
I don't think he's insecure.
But why would you think he's insecure? I'm curious to know that.
Mark is trolling. I'm not falling for it today. I'm not falling for it today. He's trolling.
I'm with you, Jen. Jen, I'm with you. I'm with you.
We almost went down that alley, Mark. We almost, but we gonna keep
right.
Right.
Almost.
Right.
We talk about Trump. It's way too obvious. That one is too easy. That's too easy, Mark.
Cheryl Martin said, "What is the difference between you, Mark, and Obama?"
What is the difference?
I can think of a few differences, but
because you say he's an alpha and he's not.
Maybe Cheryl, you want to clarify the question because I can think of a few differences. Just a couple, though.
We're both from Chicago.
Huh?
Yeah.
We're both from Chicago.
Location.
Chicago. Mark, have you ever been president?
No, I have. Okay. You know what?
What was the question, Sarah?
Even if I wouldn't want to be in politics at all. Like presidents, right? Here's the thing: presidents.
What's the difference between Mark and Obama?
Presidents are puppets. They're on the string. All presidents, even Obama. I love Obama, but at the end of the day, presidents are controlled. They're puppets. They do not, there's a government that we see, and there's a government that we don't see. And the government that we don't see is the person that Obama and Trump and the rest of them have Africa. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day,
I don't think that makes him a puppet. That's like a man working for a company. He's gonna have a boss. There's gonna be a CEO.
Here's what a puppet is, and this is what makes presidents puppets. So a puppet is okay. We need to go to Iran or Iraq or Libya to take these people oil, right? So I need you to go to war so we can go and take these people's oil, these people's natural resources. Obama did it, Clinton did it, Trump did it. All the presidents, with the exception of Jimmy Carter, all of them went to war. They went to war not to secure the United States of America. They went to war for this hidden or what they call the shadow government. So all of them, every last one, we love Obama, but at the end of we love Obama. But we can't, because we love Obama, we can't ignore the truth. We can't ignore the facts.
I disagree, because even as filmmakers, if I'm working with Miramax, if I'm working with Universal Studios, if I'm working with MGM, I still have to, they're gonna delegate how I do business with them.
Okay.
I'm a puppet, is the business that I'm into. If you go into politics and you become president, you don't run the world by yourself. You are working for someone. You're still an employee.
Yeah. Let me show you the difference, Jan. Now, I'm not saying just because you're a president, you're a puppet. You could be an entertainer and you could be a puppet, right? Didn't you call Cardi B a puppet the other day?
In what sense?
Okay.
I don't think Cardi B is a puppet. I think Cardi B is a clown all on her own, way before a label signed her.
Okay, so let me give you.
She's always the clown.
Let me give you this example, right? So I sent you the documentary Out of the Shadows.
The last one about the media?
Yeah, about the media.
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
Okay, so all right, so we know, and you're familiar with. Okay, so in this term, you have this thing called Operation Mockingbird, right? Operation Mockingbird was a CIA, which they went in and they took over the media, right? Took over the media, meaning that the journalists, even filmmakers, film producers, even Hollywood, they became puppets. They became puppets for the CIA, meaning that anything that went out pertaining to the CIA or any other thing, what they did, they had to make the CIA look good and they had to make the government look good. Now, say for instance, right, if Warner Brothers called me up and said, Mark, I need you to do this movie, right? And in this movie, I need you to do this, and this. That's going to, in turns, make our community, they have an agenda that they need me to push. People push agendas all day long through media, right? Whether you're a film producer, whether you're a director, whether you're an artist, agendas are being pushed. Do you agree?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So because these people who are pushing these agendas, if they call me up to say, oh, okay, Mark, I need you to do something on something that I really don't agree with in my heart, right? But they're gonna pay me a lot of money to do it. They'll say, well, we're gonna use Black consciousness, but within this Black consciousness, we're gonna put all of these different messages in it, but we're gonna make it sweet with Black consciousness, right? And I say, okay, cool. You'll pay me $20 million to do that. What do I become? I become a puppet.
So let me ask you this. So okay, let me ask you this. So every single white company you've worked for or will work with, right? It's all by your rules. You're not going to change any idea you have or any way you do it. It's going to be your rules, or you're going to tell them hit the highway.
Or even if distributors, what about the content that they only release on their
Let me be clear. There's a difference between, okay, if you go and do a deal and they say, okay, we want you to change this, whatever. Somebody changes just to your project without having to put some type of agenda, right? That happens. Where they just want you to make, because they think it's going to enhance the screenplay. It's going to, without having to put some type of agenda. Now, when you get to the point where they want you to do something to push their agenda, right? That's when you become a puppet. Because you're doing something, you're going against your morals and your values, your character, to push an agenda that you really don't believe in. Now, if it's something that you believe in and you feel that this is the world needs to know this, so forth and so on, and then you make the movie, you want to change it, you're not a puppet then because this is something you believe in. But if it's something that you go against your morals, your values, like come on, like Obama said it himself, the worst mistake he made when he was the president of the United States of America is when he invaded Libya. He said that himself. Why was it? Was that a decision that he made? He did not make that decision on his own.
So then if it's something he regrets, then he wasn't a puppet because a puppet wouldn't complain.
No. If after he left the office, he made that statement after he left the office.
I know he did it after. Then he wasn't a puppet. He would have kept it pushing and been quiet. If he was a happy puppet, he would have been like, "Well, it was what it was." To me, it's not a puppet. Someone who goes against something that they did.
So while he was in office, right? There's a difference, Jen. While he was in office to push that agenda to go in and invade Libya and to kill Gaddafi, he was being used. He was being used as a puppet. Now once he was being used, he admitted that he was being used as a puppet because he regretted it. Now once he gets out of the office, if it's something that he regrets, that doesn't change the fact that he was still being used as a puppet. That just saying that he regrets the fact that I allowed these people to use him as a puppet. There are many times when people who infiltrated the Black Panther Party, the Nation of Islam, so forth, and so different organizations, and they're being used as a puppet to do certain things, right? And even the guy, if you watch the Malcolm movie, he's talking about how he regretted the fact that he went into this to the ballroom and he was the one who checked Malcolm's pulse and all that kind of stuff. He was being used by the CIA and the FBI as a puppet. But at the end of the day, he said, "Okay, I regretted doing it." But at the end of the day, dude, you allowed yourself to use as a puppet.
Have you ever been a puppet?
I've never been a puppet.
Ever in your life?
Never in my life.
Not when you were working for the man or nothing. You've never been a puppet.
So I've turned down deals, big deals.
Let's talk about film. Before film, you had jobs.
When I had jobs?
Okay.
No,
I was never in the military.
I never was in the military.
Okay, but you had jobs before films, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you a puppet then?
No, it was not a puppet because I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. Even when I had jobs, like I used to work at a furniture store, right? When I worked at Aronson Furniture Store. People who are in Chicago remember Aronson Furniture Store. It was very popular back then. They wanted us, but most of these stores are in the Black and Hispanic community, right? And they wanted us to, like, when we sell these different furniture, they wanted us to attach these big this extra stuff on there. I'm not doing that. I refuse to do it.
And then you got fired?
No, I'm not quit. I just refused to do it. I said because what they were doing was they were attaching interest not only on the merchandise, but they were attaching interest on, like, they would do something like they're supposed to spray the couch and stuff like that for protection, the protection plans. But they attach interest on the protection plan. It's like creating money out of thin air. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm like, I'm not doing that.
But let me ask you this though. Bringing it back to relationships, is that no different from being in a relationship where you have a significant other who suggests that you do something that is against your better judgment that you know? Like, for example, you may be traveling somewhere and babe may be like, I think we should turn down this street. I know that this is not the way we're supposed to go, but you go down there anyway. Are you therefore a puppet, or are you keeping the peace and being a compromising individual or not?
I think that most times in situations like the woman is normally right. When the woman wants you to, like, they're normally right because women, like, but I don't think that's that. I think that's kind of different.
It is a little bit.
Like, it deals with harm. It's not harming you.
You said, but
a little bit.
But right. I'm not like where I'm not compromising anything. I'm just
sorry,
I think if you are a person of color in this country, this is my opinion. If you are a person of color in this country and you were not born into wealth, you have been somebody's puppet somewhere, somehow, and that person was right, whether you want to admit it or not. Unless, if you are a person of color in this country, you have puppeted somewhere in your past. Now, it sounds good to say no. It sounds good to say no, but I guarantee you woke up early in the morning and went to a job that a white man owned. We all
that doesn't make you a puppet because you work in a job.
But okay. Here's another example.
Yes, it does.
Here's an
Because
example.
it's against your moral to work for a cracker. That is against your moral. In your heart, you're like, I should not be breaking my back for a cracker. But you showed up anyway at 9 o'clock every day.
Well, but that's different. Okay, Jen, if you use that example, if you believe that and you use that, then therefore Obama is definitely a puppet.
If he's a puppet, then we're all puppets.
Okay, you're a puppet.
But using your definition, I'm using your definition now.
I said no. My definition of a puppet is if you pushing an agenda, right? This is what I said. If you pushing an agenda and it goes against your morals and your values and your character and what you believe in, that was my definition of what a puppet is.
And I'm putting that on you showing up to work for a white person day after day after day.
But that's an example.
Fiber. I know it goes against mine, so I gotta go against yours.
That would make you a puppet, dude. That just make.
But let me ask you this.
Why didn't you just not show up to that man's job?
That'll make you a puppet.
Or whatever on the street.
That makes you a slave.
Well, here's a low-key puppet. Here's a low-key puppet move for real that's like underneath everybody's nose, and it has happened to everybody. We've all been in school and we've all been programmed to believe that Christopher Columbus founded America. And when we take that test and you have your multiple choice, you gotta mark Christopher Columbus or you're gonna get that answer wrong. Now, some of us today are being taught at home saying that Christopher Columbus ain't discovered no America and America was founded like this and this is our heritage, that we're not being taught in our classes about history, our history. Are we therefore puppets because we take the test and we read the books and they're teaching us a false narrative?
No,
or should we revolt and say, you know what, to hell with America's history. This is the history that we believe in, and we will take an F. We will fail history because we know the truth.
That makes us slaves, not puppets. There's a difference.
Puppets and slaves is the same thing, though.
No. A puppet and a slave are totally different.
Okay.
So an overseer can be a puppet, and a slave at the same time. A puppet can be a puppet and a slave. A slave is a slave. Most of us are slaves, right?
Because we didn't have a choice. If we want to graduate school, you have to do that.
Right. So a puppet is like behind closed doors. Someone else is pulling the strings of a puppet. No one else is pulling the strings of a slave, but a puppet.
Yes, they are. With that whip, have you seen them whips, bro? For every whip that had happened, that's a string. For every lynching that had happened, that's the ultimate puppet right there.
Yeah, but again, like when you're dealing with a slave, even if they're getting whipped, they were not pushing any type of agenda, any type of.
Yes, they were. To belittle us and to make free money and to tell us that we're nothing.
So that doesn't make sense at all. So
you don't think working for a white man is pushing an agenda that black men should work for white men? You don't think every time you show up to that job, nice, bright, and early, and break your back for him, whether you're selling ices, furniture, lemonade, whatever you're selling for that man, you don't think that that's pushing an agenda? You don't think that little black kids are looking at you like, why is he working for a white man? Why isn't he independent?
In the sense, I'm going to agree with that in a sense. And here's what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, that's still somebody that's a slave. That's still somebody that's an unknowing slave. Now, again, a puppet, right? This is what a puppet is. You can't change the definition of what a puppet is or what a puppet does. When you think about somebody, you have a puppet, you have a puppeteer, someone who's pulling the strings, someone who's making that puppet move, right? So when you're talking about somebody who has to go in and go to work, you're going to work, you're getting paid. No one is actually or forcing you to do anything. You can quit. But more likely, when you're dealing with somebody who's a puppet, they agree to the terms of this is what I'm going to do. They knowingly pushing an agenda. Most puppets are pushing some type of agenda, and they know that they're pushing this agenda. Like Obama said it himself. He said that, look, when I went in and I invaded Iraq, when I invaded Libya and I killed Muammar Gaddafi, I love Obama. Trust me, I love the brother. He said, when I went in and I did that, that was my greatest mistake of my presidency. You know what I'm saying? So he felt the pain of, because he knew that was wrong. You know what I'm saying? But
okay, so now do you look back on how do you feel today, Mark Harris today? Mark Harris, the CEO of his company, Mark Harris, the filmmaker, Mark Harris, the success, right? Looking back on the times you worked for white men, how do you feel about that? What do you say about yourself?
How do I feel about myself? I used it to set myself free.
Do you regret it?
I have no regrets at all. I've learned a lot. I learned so much. Like even when I was, because I would not work a job that I wasn't paid commission for. I was adamant about that. I was like, if I'm going to work a job, I have to make commission, because I knew that I didn't like the idea of somebody. I didn't like the idea of working for hourly rate, and I just knew my check. I wanted to make my own money. I want to know, I wanted to be out there. I wanted to hustle. I was a hustler. You know what I'm saying? So
you were a puppet on commission.
I always work commission. Always work commission.
You were a puppet on commission.
I was a slave on commission.
No, a puppet.
Jen is funny. Jen got to change that.
This
the language. I was a slave on commission.
She gonna make you come as a frog by the end of the night.
I use that money to buy my freedom.
Puppets seem more voluntary.
Puppets don't seem like they get hurt though. Slaves do.
Whereas a slave is like you don't have a choice.
You weren't a slave. You volunteered to go to that white man's job. You volunteered.
Yeah.
But
he was a puppet. He was a puppet.
No. Let's give the proper definition of what a slave is. The proper.
All right, we gonna look it up.
Okay. So we're dealing with history, right? Historically, right? What a slave was historically. I'm talking about way before American slavery. American slavery was a certain different type of form of slavery, right? Totally different. But when you talk about slavery was actually working a 9-to-5 job. You would go home, you would get paid, and you would go enjoy the time with your family. That was actually slavery. So that was actually what slavery was.
What?
That's slavery. Slavery. Historically.
Y'all ready for the definition?
I'm ready. I'm ready for slavery.
You ready for
So historically, I'm not talking about Webster. I'm talking about
you talk about your
Hold on. I can.
This is not my, historically what a slave was. Anyone who's working a 9-to-5 job. They're working a 9-to-5 job, and what they do, they will get paid for their 9-to-5 job, and they will go home. So this is how business was ran back. When we were in Africa. This is how business was ran. It was more like an apprenticeship, meaning that you work for me, I teach you. And I had a brother who I interviewed who's actually from Cameroon. He explained this. This is what.
I remember what he explained. He said you work for somebody like 10 years.
Exactly.
They teach you the ropes, and then after you're a professional in that field. It's not slavery though.
That's not slavery. That's not slavery.
Right.
But
neither is showing up 9 to 5 on your own accord, walking with your own legs.
That's not slavery.
That's not slavery either.
That's not slavery. So slavery is. So what happened was I'm talking about before American slavery. So if slavery was working a 9-to-5 job. So this is what would happen when different tribes would go to war, and when someone is captured into battle, what they would do is they would go and they would work. But when they would work, they would get paid for their job.
You said captured, right? Captured in battle.
Yeah. But
okay, captured.
A lot of times, what they would do, they would become a part of that actual tribe. You know what I'm saying? But they would work. They were
captured first, right? Like against your will. Because I hear captured, and I'm like, I'm free, and then you capture me. Correct?
Absolutely.
And then you're conditioned into this life, but it wasn't the life you wanted. It was the life you got captured into and conditioned.
And are you saying that these people are slaves?
Huh?
Are you saying that they're slaves?
If they were captured, absolutely.
Okay, so we're saying the same thing.
Okay, if they were, but you weren't captured. You showed up to work. No one captured you.
Yeah.
You showed up.
Yeah.
You applied. And then
you volunteered. You volunteered.
For the capture. You was a puppet, Mark. I know it. We still gonna love you.
So you actually okay. Okay, and so if it makes Obama being a puppet for you to, it makes me being a puppet for you to understand that Obama was a puppet.
That's what it is.
No, we're just going off your definition. We're just going off your definition. I mean,
definition. You can go against the moral code. It's against your moral code to make a white man richer.
Okay.
And that's what you did. You're a puppet.
Okay, what's the next subject?
Stay on that one. Since you like trolling people, I'm trolling you.
Indentured services, exactly. In the US, you're right. So what's the next subject? You ready to close out?
No, I want to troll you like you troll everybody else.
Look, you wait for that, boy. Wait for that.
I'm gonna get you. All right, so I guess we could read the last one, and then we could call it a night. Raphael said, I think we could we could end with the star of the class, Raphael, who refuses to come on to the panel. I don't know. Okay, so
Dino's Obama was a puppet, Kevin.
He as much a puppet as you.
You're talking about God.
What?
I'm talking about your God.
My
Obama.
God? He's not my God. I hate him. I don't even vote. I've never voted. Okay, so Raphael.
That'd be a great subject too.
Huh?
That'd be a great subject.
What?
Voting.
Oh yeah, I ain't got much to say for that. I don't vote. Okay, so
me either. I don't believe in that.
Okay, so the last comment we're reading tonight is from Raphael. They quit slavery because it was cheaper to pay someone to work, because you could pay them less than what it cost slave owners to provide shelter and food for the slaves they owned.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Say that again.
They quit slavery. I guess they ended slavery because it was cheaper to pay someone to work, because you could pay them less than what it cost the slave owners to provide shelter and food for the slaves. Like, in other words, it costs more for me to have you here. So if I free you and pay you a couple bucks, then you're responsible for your own life. But you still not to do it.
Yeah, but that's not no. So that's not right. That's not why slavery was ended. It was ended because the South was more, when in terms of, because of the free slave trade, the free slave labor, the South was more powerful than the North. And what Lincoln wanted to do is he wanted to join both unions, but he wanted to break the South. So in order to break the wealth of the South, he had to. In order to break the wealth of the South, what he wanted, that was the whole thing of the war, the Civil War, which was to totally cripple the South because of that free slave trade. He had nothing to do with
Malcolm Banks asked to get in a long time ago. Fayed Yasin, he's mad at us. He's like, you guys don't vote, shaking my head. Keep voting, Fayed. If it's working for you, then keep doing it.
Yeah, I don't believe voting for the lesser of two evils. But if you give me a candidate that has morals, values, character, and you know, someone who's going to not take us to war, someone who's going to put America back onto the gold standard, someone who's going to bring freedom, justice, and equality for all people across the planet Earth.
That's not going to happen with a disproportionately white government. It's never going to happen. Like, this illusion that it's going to happen because you vote in a white guy who plays the sax, or you vote in a white woman who smoked weed once, or you vote in a woman who knows all the lyrics to Cardi B. Like, it's never going to happen. The government is disproportionately white, point blank, period. So
presidents are not elected.
It's not going to happen.
Jenny gonna hear this, and this is including our amazing brother Obama. Presidents are never elected; they are selected. They are who the presidents are going to be. Even like they mold them and shape them, and you know.
Jen for president. Raphael is Jen for president. Mark could come work for me. He's gonna be my little puppet.
Jen is mad. What did I say, Jen? What
Huh?
Yeah, man. What did I say?
I'm not. Oh, please.
Let me tell you something. I love
women to be mad.
I love Obama. Okay, it's not the person.
Right, but I didn't vote for him. I don't vote. Like I like his swag. I like what he represents. I like who he is. He's very intelligent. But I like Obama aside from politics. He's one
Me
of the
too.
motherfuckers we've seen ever in our lifetime. I didn't have to vote for him to vote that. Like I don't vote period because I don't believe in this government. The government is disproportionately white. It will never be fair to us, no matter how friendly white people are with us. It's not going to be fair. It is out of our hands. Now, if we have 50% government, black and brown people, and 50% white, I may be, inclined to, okay, let's see what's happening. But I'm not going to vote in a government where 85% of the people are old white people who still believe in slavery. They just don't say it out loud.
Yeah, Fire says, so like we are under this illusion that
for us.
Well, we're under this illusion that our politicians work for us. Totally not true. They work first for corporations, and most times people from foreign nations get more. Just more. What's the word? They get more out of this society. I mean, people from other nations, they get more out of this government than we actually do as citizens.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, they do not, like, our politicians, unfortunately, they want to pretend like they work for us, but they do not work for us at the end of the day.
Honestly, I think we're in the way of their business. Like, they don't get, especially if you're a person of color. Like, we're in the way. So every now and then they got to throw us a candidate who likes hot sauce to get our attention. But
Right.
we're totally in the way. That's why we still have disenfranchised communities after 45 presidencies. That's why, all the drugs and liquor stores are in the hood. That's why, and every now and then they throw somebody at you that likes hot sauce, so you could be like, look, they care about us. Like, it's disproportionately white, point blank, period. 1 + 1 = 2. If most of the people at a company are white, you are the odd person out, period.
I agree with your thoughts, but another thing is, I think it's very important too when we talk about voting. I know this is off the subject, but for me, it's not just it's more like a lot of us. It's foreign policies too, right? How are they treating Africa? How are they treating the Palestinian people? Like, those are very important issues that we have to look at when we vote for these people. And most times you got to see, like, we have to. That's why I say I can never vote for Trump, because of his stance against the Palestinian people. You know what I'm saying? I can never vote for him because the things how he treated Africa. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I can never. That's why I couldn't give. Like, I voted for Obama the first time, but the second time I couldn't vote for him the second time because what he was going over to, Africa and the things he was doing. I'm like, I can't give my vote.
For me, it's common sense. If you worked at a company that was black owned, let's just pretend. If you work at a company that was black owned, right? And 80 or 90% of the employees were black. And then 10% of the employees are white. Are you going to vote in favor for those white people, for those 10 to white people? It's an impossibility. You never ever do that. Not in a disproportionately black company. It's asinine. No one's going to do that. No one's going to do that. So why would a mostly all white government give a fuck about you and your problems in the ghetto? Like, I will throw you a candidate that plays the sax or knows all the lyrics to a Public Enemy song, because that gets our attention, entertainment, right? But no, I'm not going to care. I'm not really going to care what you think or if you live or die. I don't give a damn. And that's common sense, because if you had a company where mostly everybody was black or brown, you're not going to give a damn about 3 white employees. That's just human nature. That's human nature. So why would the government twist the government, who's not only disproportionately white, but has been that way 45 terms, okay? And slavery wasn't that long ago. The last thing on their mind is your damn best interest. The last. You're not even a factor. You're in the way.
Okay. 6, 7. We've been here 4 hours. Let's cut. Let's.
Oh, we gotta go.
Let's end it. So let's tomorrow. Okay,
Fayed say he wants to get on.
Okay, tomorrow. Jen, do you want to talk politics tomorrow? You want to think about it?
Let me.
I'm pull you all off. So.
Yep.
All right, Bernard. Thank you, brother.
Peace.
Bye.
So, what do you want to announce? Do you want to talk about tomorrow, or you want to just hold off and think about it, or what?
I mean, I think we can hold off and like, I don't know.
I think something political would be hot.
You want to do voting? People that vote and don't vote?
It's up to you. I don't mind doing it.
We could do that. Fayed wants to come on, but we can do it tomorrow.
If Fayed say yes, let's do it tomorrow.
And see that they will never get with 0 we guarantee they will never get our people. Raphael coming on tomorrow?
No, man, Fayed, we went to high school together.
No, I'm talking about Raphael.
Raphael, come on tomorrow.
It's 10 o'clock.
And that is our cue. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, for contributing. We love you all, family, and we will see you tomorrow. And I guess we could do the voting tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay.
All righty.
Come up with something nice and sexy for the subject.
I mean, voters against non-voters.
Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. Good night.